All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the season finale of the Teacup for One Oscar movie marathon. My name is Matt and I have 2 degrees, and it's the show we've been waiting for all year. It's been a short year so far, but we've been waiting for this all year. Tonight is our Oscar prediction show. So if you were with us last year, you no doubt remember it's just a fantastic, fun night where us and a bunch of fantastic guests get together and just go through all the nominations and make our picks. And then on Oscar night, I'm going to know who won. And if you pay enough attention to the community tab, I guess I can let you know too. Who knows? But tonight's going to be a wild ride. I remember last year the show went on for like 3 hours. It would have been longer, except I had to go pick up a sandwich. I don't have to pick up a sandwich tonight because that place where I ordered my sandwiches from no longer does online ordering. In fact, they're really hard to order from. There's like the best sandwiches I've had in the Niagara region, but in like impossible to actually get your hands on them. Anyway, so excited for this evening. Let's see who we have joining us here in the chat. We have my cat, Eliza. Yes, Eliza, it will be an interesting live show. My other cat, Sabrina. Yes, Sabrina, I recommend watch with Eliza. Absolutely. And my mom. That seems about right. My mom and the 2 cats. There we go. Oh, and also, I need to welcome my special guest for tonight. This is Rakakuni. Rakakuni has joined me all the way from the Everything Everywhere All at Once universe to help me make my picks. So here we are. So as I was saying before we went on the air, tonight's pretty exciting for me because even though I planned all this out, I didn't actually pick my picks. I'm going to be making my decisions live here on the show. I think everyone else did a little bit more research than I did and they're ready, but I'm not. So let's bring in our first guest who did a lot of research. It's Jeanette, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Jeanette. You're on location today.
I am, and my location is the Beach Club at Disney World.
So jealous. It looks so amazing. Well, how has your trip been?
It's been fabulous. A lot has happened in such a short amount of time. I went on Tron, and I ate the fanciest dinner I've ever been to in my life.
And you built a lightsaber.
And I built a lightsaber. Actually, yes, I built a lightsaber.
Is it here?
And it is. It's right here.
I love. Show me the hilt. Show me the hilt.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you went dark side.
I
like
did.
it. Good.
I did.
Very nice. Very nice. And who are you wearing this evening?
Who am I wearing? I'm wearing Disney World. I'm wearing
Good.
50th anniversary.
Good. Fantastic. I'm wearing Rakakuni. Let's bring in our next guest for this evening from Castles, Capes, and Clones. It's Lorne.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, Lorne?
Good. I feel
It's
like my
been so
head
long.
feels so
Oh my
big.
gosh. Yeah. No.
I know.
It looks fantastic. Who are you wearing tonight, Lorne?
Who am I wearing? I'm wearing Disney, the Main Street Electrical Parade. This is the 50th anniversary T-shirt,
Nice.
and
Nice.
it's very sparkly.
I love it.
I don't know if you could see the sparkle.
Oh, I can. It's very Oscar
Yeah.
night appropriate.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest everybody dress up for tonight, but I didn't because I didn't want to dress up. So
I dressed up last night. I can't do it again.
I respect that. That's why I brought Rakakuni. Okay, let's bring in our next guest for this evening. Who knows how many of the movies they've seen? I asked them to come for the lulz. It's Alex T-Tie, everyone.
Yeah, that's good. I'm here for the lulz.
Yeah, we know. And you're going to deliver the lulz. Alex, who are you wearing tonight?
Well, it's somewhat incidental, but it's a quite faded shirt that I took from a theater in Windsor, Ontario, like, I don't know, man, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's The Learned Ladies. I believe that's like a play. I'm not familiar with it. Sure. But I'm also wearing a little special pin here. Pretty exciting.
Wait, you
stuff.
are. Hold on. Where's mine? Ugh.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. This is
Yes.
the exclusive Teacup for One
Yeah.
movie review club.
Members only.
Yes.
I love it. I
Members.
love it.
Actually, I think everyone on this show tonight has one. Like not on, but
Yeah.
owns one. So
Yes.
that's we
Yeah.
should have
I
coordinated
should have
outfits.
worn mine.
It's okay. The next time. Let's bring in our next guest for this evening. It's Ben Gordon,
Whoa,
everyone.
hello.
Yay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Ben. Ben, I
Reigning
gave you your pin in
champion.
person.
That's true. Yeah, it was
Yes.
it was a Christmas gift, I believe.
Mhm.
And it was, man, I should have worn that. I should have worn my my victory tee from last year's show.
Yes, is our reigning champion. Ben won last year pretty much by a landslide.
I'm pretty nervous this year, though. I feel like there's some really, really close races that I'm sure we'll get into.
Oh,
but,
there are, but I still feel
yeah.
like I think you're gonna sweep again. So we'll see.
We'll see. But it was a good, good year for movies.
It
Lots
was,
of good
it was.
movies.
Yeah.
Oh, Anna, my girlfriend
Anna's
says,
here.
"Go Ben." Hi, Anna.
Go Ben.
Hi.
Ben.
And if you're gonna want to know what I'm wearing, it's
Yes.
those boutique designers Frank and Oak made this hoodie, and Anna got me that hoodie. So thanks, Anna.
Good job, Anna. Yeah. Go Ben and go Anna. Woo. Oh yeah, we have other friends here. Vince is here. Woo. Speaking of Vince, guess who else is here? It's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Yay!
Hello, Lisa. Lisa, welcome to Oscar night. Who are you wearing?
Oh, I'm wearing Aritzia, specifically TNA, and my bottoms Old Navy.
Nice.
Yes.
Ooh.
We're also dapper. We're also classy. Oh, speaking of dressing up, Martha wants Jeanette to know that she looked gorgeous at her
Oh,
fancy dinner
thanks,
last night.
Martha.
Obsessed with your dress. Upset.
Thank you. Oh my God, you guys are making me blush. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, we'll
so
count that as
fun.
my Oscars look.
I respect that. All right, everyone, let's dive into it because it's going to be a long night anyway. A fun night, but a long night. So, for anyone who wasn't with us last year, which actually I think that was just Alex, but anyone watching who wasn't with us last year, what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single category and just make our picks. And I don't think anyone here has seen all of the movies. Has anyone seen all of the movies?
No.
No. Okay.
Not
So-
in all the Oscars.
Yeah. No, I want at some point in my life, I want to go into an Oscars having seen literally everything.
I feel like that was the
Mhm.
case more so when I was younger and there
Mhm.
was only 5 nominees.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, but I
now-
mean like all the shorts, everything.
I have
Oh
friends who
my
do
gosh.
this. They
Yeah.
every year they make a checklist of like the 70 movies that are all, all the shorts, all the short documentaries, and they just go down and they do them all before the ceremony, and it's like it's commitment, man. I don't think I
Yeah.
could do it. It's a lot of
No.
movies.
I know. I feel accomplished when I watch most of the Best Picture nominees. I've only done all of them once. It was like 2011. This year I'm close. I'm only missing 2. I'm
I
missing
think
Women Talking and Top Gun.
Top Gun. I was going to say some movies I haven't seen intentionally. So.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
I'm
So
watching
anyway,
All Quiet on the Western Front right now. I have like 45 minutes left. It was what I was doing right before this.
did
Wow.
the tank
So that one,
crush
yeah,
the guy
it's
yet?
half
Did the
watched.
tank crush the guy?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Spoiler
yeah.
alert: tank crushed guy.
That was my favorite
first
part
half.
and least favorite part all at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So for any category where you haven't seen any of the films, you just pick based on whatever criteria you want. If you like the title, if you just get a good feeling about one of them, just pick. And just like last year, whoever wins gets a prize from my Etsy store. Woo!
Yay.
Yeah. Alex, what was that sarcastic eyeball look?
Oh no, just something was happening all around me,
Okay.
so I just kind of was looking
All
at
at
it.
once, everything. Good. As it should be. All right, here we go. So let's dive right in. You know what? Let's do it like it is Oscar night. And let's start with a category that is more exciting than some of the others, just to like have a strong start. So we're gonna start with the supporting performance categories,
Okay.
like it is truly Oscar night. So here we go. Let's start with
Is there a
Let's start
list
with-
somewhere that I could look at?
the internet. Yeah. So if you go on the internet,
Like if I Google the internet?
if
Check
you
it
Google
out.
the internet, yeah.
Oscars.org
Go to the
has a list of all
Oscars.org.
the-
And
Yeah.
winning the Oscar for least research done. Alex T.
It's partially why I asked Alex, so I would feel better about my picks. Okay, so let's start with actor in a supporting role. So for best supporting actor this year, we have Brendan Gleeson in Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry. Is that how you say Tyree? Sure. In
Yeah.
Causeway? I don't even know what that movie is. Judd Hirsch for all 30 seconds he was in of The Fablemans. Barry whatever in Banshees of Inisherin
Keegan.
for being goofy and lovable, which worked for some people, but not me. And then Lauren, help me out with our friend from Everything Everywhere All
Kiwi
at Once.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Kiwi Kwan.
Kiwi Kwan, yes,
Yeah.
from Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I'm gonna go with the odds, and I'm voting for Key because, like, I think if anything's a sure thing, it's him. But that's just me.
Wait,
That's just
are
me.
we doing actor in a supporting role? What are
Yeah,
we
in a
doing?
supporting role right now. Yeah. So we'll go clockwise first. Jeanette, who are you voting for in this category?
So I am that person who Barry Coogan's performance worked for. That was out of this list. That was my favorite supporting actor from Banshees of Inisherin.
So you're voting for Barry. Interesting.
That's yes,
Wow.
and I also think he was the strongest part of the Eternals. So I just think he's a very strong actor.
Sure. Yeah.
Very strong actor.
Okay. Yeah, Lauren.
Kiwi quad all the way for me. I just thought that he was. I just think that he was amazing, and I just love his story.
Right. No, absolutely. It'll be heartwarming for me if he wins. So yeah. Alex, who are you voting for?
I will copy Jeanette after looking at this for under a minute. I will. I think because Barry played the funny boy.
Funny.
I think
Was he
he's
funny?
Did
He
you
was
watch?
just-
It's the sequel to Funny Girl. It's funny.
Yeah.
The sequel to Funny Girl is Funny Lady, and apparently it's not good.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Shocker.
think from because I saw Ki Huey Kwan today. I saw Judd in The Fablemans. I saw Brendan Gleeson in Banshees. I didn't see Brian. I didn't see Causeway. But yeah, I think Barry Keoghan is yeah, I agree with Jeanette. Like he delivered a I thought it was a very challenging role that he pulled off very well. Like I thought I'm not going to quote Tropic Thunder, but I think he towed the line that Tropic Thunder kind of lays out for us. So on the subject of playing characters that are touched, as it were.
Yeah. Okay.
cut.
Okay. Oh, so Vince's comment is also making me laugh. If the third movie would be called Funny Crone,
That would be amazing.
that would be
That would be funny.
Barbara is still with us. It could happen. Especially look at the movies she's made recently. I feel like her standards have waned. So there we are.
Ooh.
Ben, who are you voting for Best Supporting Actor?
Ki Kwan all the way. I think he's the biggest lock of all the actor nominations. I just I think that people are just so elated to see him working again and to have such a meaty role in that film too, where he's playing all these different variations of this character. And I just think his trajectory so far with he's winning almost every supporting actor award this year. So
Right.
He's the one I'm like most certain about winning. But Barry Keoghan, I will give you, is magnificent. He's so good in Banshees. But
Agreed.
I think he's gonna get it.
I see him getting a lot of like Paul Dano-esque roles in the coming years. I would like to see that out of him.
I'd like to see him do a role that wins me over on him. But anyway, Alex, you may speak now.
Oh, I just realized that I'm not supposed to just pick my favorite. That I'm supposed to like predict who's gonna win.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna join Ben. I'm gonna say Ki and Lauren.
Oh yeah,
I think
I just do it from my heart, regardless, unless I have no opinion, and then I pick who I think.
I mean,
Yeah.
Alex,
That whole Banshees
you
cast
can
is
vote
so
with your
good.
heart, Alex.
Yeah,
No, I'll pick. I'll let you guys know who my favorite is, and then I'll pick who I think's gonna win.
Oh, that's a good
I
idea.
can get the
That's a
Etsy
good idea.
store prize.
Okay. This is why the show's going to be like 4 hours long. Lisa.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do that too. That accommodation. I want that accommodation. No, I really want Barry to win. I loved his performance. I think he was so strong. I have not seen Causeway or The Fablemans. Don't think I will.
Who's
So-
seen Causeway? Have any of us? I haven't seen.
I don't
So
Causeway.
I grew up with the thing that the movie's about, and I
Oh.
haven't seen it.
What
The
is it
Causeway
about?
Bridge. Well, I don't know if it's
Like
about
the
the
grocery
bridge, but it
store?
takes place revolving around the Causeway Bridge, which is a thing
Oh,
over Lake
Hmm.
Pontchartrain. Anyway, where I grew up, and I haven't seen it. So,
okay.
I thought you
and
said
I probably
threw
won't
up.
either.
I thought the movie made
Threw
you
up.
throw up.
Threw up
and
that.
That was funny.
I threw up on that bridge.
Okay.
But either way, I think Ki Kwan is going to win because he's been sweeping the the award season, but I would really like Barry to win.
The big bear.
The big,
Yeah.
well said, Ben. All right, so we're in supporting performance world. Let's talk about actress in a supporting role, which I feel is a little bit more up in the air because statistically, yeah, I think best supporting actor, like, kind of locked in. Well, I mean, I'm willing to be proven wrong, if it so goes that way. But supporting actress is such an interesting category, and I feel so teetering between the quality of the performances just versus who the individual people are in the industry just as humans. And like even someone I worked with pointed out to me that the supporting actor categories usually are more about the human than the performance traditionally. Like we take this opportunity to like give Jamie Lee Curtis her Oscar, let's say. So yeah, she's one of the nominees. So our nominees for supporting actress are Angela Bassett in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow in The Whale, Carrie Condon in Banshees, Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I am going to vote with my heart, which is for Stephanie, even though I don't think there's a chance in hell that she's going to win. I want her to. I mean, she might, but one of the things I was reading this afternoon was saying that her and Jamie Lee Curtis are probably going to split the vote on that movie. And then by default, it could, for that reason alone, go to Angela Bassett or anyone else, but especially because Angela has momentum behind her with, was it the Golden Globe that she won?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, she won the Golden Globe.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm voting for Stephanie with my heart because I think it was one of the best performances, I would say, of the year. I loved her in that movie. She, adored. But let's go opposite. Lisa, who's your pick for supporting actress?
So my heart wants to go with Hong Chow from The Whale. Her role as Liz was like amazing, like completely relatable. I also the other half of my heart would also go with Stephanie, but I feel like they're gonna award it to Angela Bassett. So
Nice. Yeah. Strong choice. Ben, what are you thinking?
Well, as our mutual friend Ariana DeBose sang, Angela Bassett did the thing. She did the thing. This is a tough category. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% like sure about. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about anything, but this one I'm like waffling between. I think that both supporting actress nominees in Everything Everywhere like have a totally viable shot at getting the award. I thought Carrie Condon was so good and kind of underrated in Banshees. I think she really is like incredible in that film, and I wish she was getting a little bit more recognition. But I think that Angela Bassett, if we talk about not just, I mean, she to me is like bar none the best part of Wakanda Forever. Like she's her performance is so real and raw in that movie.
Yeah,
that's not
the reason the second half of that movie is not good in my.
Yeah, I just feel like she is. I think that and Marvel's probably been clamoring for this too, like a real, like legitimate, category win, and I think that, that it's playing into a real palpable sense of grief. I think that like culturally, a lot of us feel about, losing Chadwick Boseman, and like, I just think that you just feel, she brings such a kind of a gravitas to a film that, kind of needed it in order to exist, I feel like. And so I'm going to lean towards Angela Bassett getting the Oscar.
She did the thing.
I will say, I just want to mention, and Vince has mentioned in the comments that Women Talking, that entire cast got snubbed, and there should at least be one of them in this category because Claire Foy's performance was so strong. Rooney Mara's performance was spectacular. Really, the entire cast. And so it's very upsetting that we can't have more people nominated for this specific category.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, does she deserve the nomination when those women did amazing? I don't know. So
just like I said this last night, but I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm happy to see her nominated. And if she wins, I'll be happy. But again, because it's Jamie Lee Curtis, not because of what she did in that movie, which was fine. But like, that's not really an Oscar-worthy role, in my not so humble opinion. Like if it was anyone that wasn't Jamie Lee Curtis in that role, or even if it was Jamie Lee Curtis and she had never been in a movie before, would that performance have garnered the same attention? That's my question. So there we are. Yeah. Alex, who are you picking?
So I'm going to slightly deviate, I think, from what I previously established, which is to say that I'm not going to pick what I think is going to win based on the discussion I've heard thus far, because I have not seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever yet. And so I feel kind of dirty picking something that I haven't seen. So personally, just my own personal.
What are you going to do when we get to like best documentary short film?
Well, I mean, if I haven't seen any, I mean, well, first off, how dare you insinuate that I have not seen a documentary short film that's nominated?
Have you?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the goddamn list. I don't know. Gosh darn it.
I've seen every one of them.
Please. I'm learning. I'm finding out on the go. All right. So anyway, so having said that, like Ben, I really enjoyed, and like many of us, I really enjoyed Carrie Condon. I would say that she's probably my favorite on this list in terms of just sheer enjoyment of her performance, of their performance, her in this case. Well, yeah. Then otherwise, I'll pick. I guess Stephanie Shu is how you say her name?
I think
so. Yeah,
yeah.
Stephanie Shu. I think I would pick because I've seen everything else, and I loved her in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And I think that she's got real potential to win.
Mm-hmm.
Well said. Okay, so Stephanie, right? That's your pick? Because I wrote down Carrie, then I scribbled.
You can put in parentheses if my principles were different, Angela Bassett. But
yeah, she did.
Do you think Ben and I did not see Black Panther? Because we did.
No, I'm not. That's you're reading that again. I'm not insinuating that you guys are have less principles than I am. I'm purely just emphasizing my principles for not to shit on you guys.
No, I'm deeply unprincipled.
and that's irrelevant to my insistence on continually mentioning my principles. So that's just my own personal, entirely insulated insecurity, not based on you guys at all.
Okay.
I think we're going to start with Alex from now on. Okay, Lauren.
All right, so I go back and forth between, Stephanie Shu and the leader of the most powerful nation in the world. Yet all of her family is gone. Has she not given everything? Angela Bassett, because she did the thing. I can't. It's so hard for me to choose. Although, really, I would be happy with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to go with Angela Bassett because I just think that she has kind of this story to her, and Stephanie Shu does as well. But I just feel like there's they want to kind of give that respect back to Angela Bassett, and there aren't a lot of, I don't think so, but there aren't a lot of Black actors that are up. Not saying that would be the thing, but I'm just saying that as an extra for me, Angela Bassett, she's a legend, and she needs to be picked.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that her only time at the Oscars was for the Tina Turner movie, like 30 almost years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I still want to see that.
So do I. Also, I'm sure if I see it, it'll make sense. I feel like it came out at such an early point in Tina's life/career. Like I think of those types of movies, I think of them after the person has like passed on, as opposed to in the middle of their career. So I'm just interested to see it for that purpose, especially since Tina probably would have been active in it being made, and
she was.
Played her.
She had a complete active role in it. So much so Angela Bassett and her became friends.
Oh, I love that. So yeah, I want to see it for that reason, and maybe one day I will. All right, Jeanette.
So this is one of those times where I would be in agreement and fine with any of these people winning. this is also one of those times where it's going to show that I am not choosing based on who I genuinely think will win. I'm choosing based on who I think gave the best performance, and that is Tong Chow. I think that, and I'm also, this is like totally, not what the people at the Oscars do, but I'm voting based on her performance in 2 movies this year.
Oh
She was
yeah,
also in The Menu,
For the menu.
and
Oh yeah.
It
I
was
think that
awesome.
those 2
Oh, yeah.
performances combined say that this woman deserves the Oscars. So
We
that's
gel.
who I'm voting for.
Alex, you didn't see the menu.
I saw the promotional material,
Okay.
Well,
and
Your
apparently we
principal-
gel.
He's in there.
Really, it's really good.
That's true.
I think everybody should see that movie.
Oh yeah, and then eat a
Mhm.
cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we said last night, we were like, should we ask for a cheeseburger?
A
That
very
was, I
good,
felt,
very
felt like I was
traditional
in the menu.
cheeseburger.
But you have to return the food first, though. You have to send it back to the kitchen.
Cheeseburger that'll taste like the first cheeseburger you ever had, the cheap kind your parents could barely afford. Yes.
Mhm.
I rewatch that scene so often just so I can see the burger being made. I want one. Anyway.
Looks like a
There we
good,
go.
looks like a good
Right.
burger. If you
Such
watch
a good
Creed
burger.
3,
There a
not to
burger
spoil
in
anything,
that?
but Creed orders a burger and it looks so good, and he doesn't even touch it once. He like puts the
What?
bun on it and then doesn't eat it. And I was like, that burger looks so good, Creed.
Like, did he
Oh,
maybe eat
cheeseburger.
it when did he eat it when the scene was over and we left
Probably
him?
after. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Mm.
It's not like he
I would
left
hope
the
so.
restaurant and left the burger.
I would hope not. We don't see him leave.
Okay.
So I hope he ate it in between.
I hope he did too.
Yeah.
It's
All
probably
right.
a fake burger with gasoline on it, but
Probably. It looks so
Oh.
good.
Don't
Mm.
ruin that for
Sorry.
us. Okay. So
Movie
let's
magic.
go to short film animated. Did anyone see any of the nominated animated short films? These are your
Not
choices.
one.
Okay.
No.
We
Short-
have
I'm scrolling. Hold on.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to find the
Yeah.
category.
Which
So our
one is the
nominations are-
which one is the one that led a Pixar movie? Because that's
Oh,
the
here
one
it
I
is.
saw.
none of them.
None
Actually,
of them.
I don't
Yeah,
think
they
any of
didn't
these
have-
are-
Yeah.
I don't think any of these are Pixar or Disney. Usually that's easy. But no,
Yeah.
our options are The Boy, the Mole, the
Oh.
Fox, and the Horse, The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, My Year of Dicks, and an ostrich. An ostrich.
I
told me
did
the
watch
world is-
that one. I
What?
did
Really?
watch it while you were Dick. I just had to know what's it about, and
What's
I found
it
it on
about?
YouTube. It's basically this woman's life in dicks.
Iconic.
How do you measure a year?
How do you
Yeah.
manage?
In daylights and
Yeah.
sunsets and dicks.
100 days.
Gosh. Oh, and then the last one is an ostrich told me the world is fake, and I think I believe it.
That's real. That's a real movie.
That's
So-
like
I know.
very funny title. Okay.
What's with all of these titles? That's my
Multiple
question.
funny titles.
I know
Yeah.
they're very
Yeah.
fun titles.
Like an article I read said that it'll probably be The Boy, Mole, Fox, and the Horse. But I want to go off of my heart. If I didn't read that, I
Mhm.
would have picked the ostrich movie just because the title makes me laugh. So I'm picking the ostrich told me the world is fake, and I think I believe it. So yeah. Alex, what's your pick for short film animated?
So yeah, this is a case where I've almost certainly not seen any of these, and so I will be comfortable reverting back to the winning strategy. And I will. I also. So I only just now Googled the Boy, Mole, Fox, and Horse one.
Yeah.
And based on your comment and in addition, the image that I saw, which is this like, I don't know, painting. I couldn't tell you the style technique, but this sort of painted animation style, the art style. I'm gonna say that one because
Okay.
that seems like it could win.
Agreed. Oh, I almost want to change my vote now. No, it's too late. It's written down. It's in ink. Okay. Ben.
So I am also going to pick The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse only because I think My Year of Dicks might be a Netflix maybe, but I know for a fact that the Boy and the Mole one that I'm going to pick is on Apple TV Plus, which I don't have. And my mom texted me and she was like, "Ben, you got to watch The Boy, the Mole, and the Fox film. It's so good." I haven't watched it yet, but because she loved it so much, I feel like it probably has mass appeal, and I feel like it's like readily available for people to watch, and I feel like it's got a good shot.
All right.
So I'll go with that one.
Lisa.
Because I'm all for sexual liberation. My year of
Dude.
it's very heteronormative, but I'm happy for it to win. Can't
I
wait.
also like I would appreciate if that one just to kind of shake up people's perception of what animated movies are.
Yes.
Because I think everyone just assumes they need to be G-rated,
Okay.
wholesome
Yeah.
Disney, whatever, as opposed to just appreciating that it's an art form that can be anything. So yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a reality where everyone is literally a dick, which I think that's what it sounds like it is, throw it the Oscar. The Oscar is also kind of phallic shaped, so it's perfect. Okay. Jeanette.
A guy.
Well, I didn't know anything about these movies. I did pick one,
Mhm.
and it was based on a very eighth grade sense of humor. Although after hearing the conversation here, I will say that I also support this because it sounds like they basically took like that scene in Superbad but made it a whole movie, and I'm cool with that. So that sounds great.
Wait, so did you pick My Year of Dicks or whatever
Yes.
it's called? Okay. All right. Lauren, what are you going for?
My heart is with an ostrich. Told me the world is fake, and I think I believe it just because of the title. But I am also going to go with the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse because it also just sounds like the most normal title on this. Well, I guess Ice Merchants
Ice
as
merchants.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
now we need 4 words, so
Yeah.
I go with that.
I like that logic. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's stay in short film land. So now, short film live action. The options are An Irish Goodbye. I don't know how to say the second word. A value.
Evalu?
Evalu. Sure. This is French. I should know.
La
Oh.
Poupée.
The pupil.
La Pupille?
Yeah,
I think it's
La
called The
Poupée-
Pupil.
La
Pupille.
Poupée.
La Pupille, Night Ride, and The Red Suitcase. I like the title of The Red Suitcase, but I feel like Irish Goodbye sounds like a thing that'll win because I said this last year. Someone once told me that for a short film to win, it needs to be about literal life and death. And just based on the title, I think that movie's about death. That's my guess. Jeanette, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to go based on title, and this is something that I do, and that is An Irish Goodbye. So,
All right.
I wish I had the balls to do that.
I mean, that's like ghosting a party, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, I wanted to make sure I'm referencing the right thing. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
me. Totally.
It would have been so funny, Jeanette, if you just left after saying that.
That would've been
In the
good.
middle,
Yeah.
you switch to Lauren, and then I'm gone.
Yes, I could. Lauren, what are you picking for short film live action?
I'm just gonna go with the one I saw, and that's La Pupille.
Where did you see it? What was it?
It was on Disney Plus.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, it's a Disney film,
it is?
but it's Italian.
Oh, not French.
Oh.
Oh wait,
Is it French or Italian?
French. I think it's French. Now I'm doubting myself. Yeah, I think it's
Not
French.
English.
Yeah, it's not English. And it's in another language. And it's kind of weird, but I kind of liked it, so I'm gonna go with that.
All right. Alex, what are you voting for?
Oh no, I lost the list. I did. Oh my gosh, I found out. Same thing, but it's Italian. But yeah, I'll do the Le Pupille.
La Pupille.
Le
Okay.
Pupille.
There it is. See, now it sounds Italian. Okay. Ben, what are you voting for?
Le Pupille. Because I haven't seen any. I like saying that, and I noticed that Alice Rohrwacher, who's I believe she's Greek. Actually, let me just check that because she's a director in her own right. No, she's Italian. What am I talking about? She's not Greek. Oh, cut that from the live broadcast. She's an Italian filmmaker. Of course, she's Italian. She did that movie. Happy as Lazaro, which was on Netflix a few years ago and was really good.
I
And
was
she
convinced you were about to
Because
say happy as lasagna.
Lasagna. She's happy as lasagna. It's like
Happy as
Garfield.
lasagna.
and she co-produced that. Why did I say she was great? She co-produced that with Alfonso Cuarón, who did Roma a few years ago, and Gravity and Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Oh.
and Little Princess.
And so I know those names. So why not? I'll
Yeah.
toss my guess into that hat.
Well said. All right, Lisa.
Well, based on what you're saying, Matt, about how a short film has to be about life or death, I feel like you can incorporate an Irish Goodbye into that type of storyline. So I'm going to go with an Irish Goodbye.
All right. Oh, we're like 50-50 on this category. This is exciting.
Wow.
Half for Irish, half for Italian. Okay.
Also, these titles are very lackluster compared to the animated short films.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Also, how do you beat a lineup that has like boys, moles, foxes, horses, ostriches, soldiers, and dicks? So,
Yeah.
yeah, really. Well,
It has
maybe
everything.
documentary can do it for us. Documentary
Ooh.
short subject. Our options are The Elephant Whisperers, Haul Out, How Do You Measure a Year, which I don't think is about
Dicks.
kids, but it could be. Yeah. The Martha Mitchell Effect and Stranger at the Gate. Did anyone see any of these movies?
No.
No, but I really want to see the
No.
Elephant Whisperers. I heard that was really good.
I saw the Martha Mitchell Effect, and it was really boring. And I thought it would be good because it was like the title and like the log line is great, where it's about how the Nixon administration gaslit this lady who was like the whistleblower saying Nixon's doing bad things, #Watergate. They were like, she's crazy, don't listen to her. But then she was right. An interesting story, but the way I described it to you now is more interesting than the movie actually was. So
Wow.
there it is. And so to make up for that, I ended up watching Dick, the comedy movie about Nixon, as well as that other movie, All the President's Men. I was like, I'm going to go on a Nixon Film Festival right now to make up for how boring this Martha Mitchell movie was.
Have
But
you
I
seen
love-
Nixon, Matt? The Oliver Stone movie with Anthony Hopkins as Nixon?
No.
It's
I've seen
crazy.
Frost Nixon.
It's like
But-
3 hours, 3.5 hours, and there's a director's cut, and there's a part where there's like an FBI guy or something, and his eyes turn all black. It's like wild. It's a wild.
That sounds
and Anthony
amazing.
Hopkins doesn't like look like Nixon at all, but he's like he kind of nails his vibe. It's fascinating.
Oh, I need
It's
to
a
watch
wild
that
movie.
now.
Yeah.
For
If
the-
you're
for
on
the-
a
The
Nixon
Nixon
cinematic-
movie marathon. Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Although, well, if we're talking about Nixon movies, Dick is so funny, which I saw it when it came out because I was the right like middle school age to see that movie, and I didn't understand the historical context. But watching it after watching All the President's Men, it's so funny, and it's also like Kirsten Dunst and Michelle Williams as teenagers being kind of hilarious, which was unexpected. So, everyone, watch Dick. It always comes back to Dick. Okay, so I'm voting for the Elephant Whisperers because elephants are my animal and I love them. So there it is. Yeah, Jeanette, what's your short documentary?
I didn't see any of these, obviously. So I'll go with How Do You Measure a Year?
All right. Lauren?
I'm going to go with the Elephant Whisperers because I like elephants and I like whisperers.
Well said. You will like this.
ASMR.
Lisa, who are you
I'm-
voting for?
Go with How Do You Measure a Year? I hope it's about rent.
How about
I know.
Or the crossover.
I'll be so upset.
Or it's the crossover, How Do You Measure a Year in Dicks?
Dicks.
Yeah.
I would love it. It would be amazing. A short film and a doc short. Perfect.
Oh my gosh. If only. Ben, what are you feeling?
let's go with those elephants, man. Let's do it. Elephant whispering all the way.
Yes.
How can you deny? I haven't seen it. I don't know what it's about. People who talk to elephants. I love it. Give it an Oscar.
I hope they do. Alex.
Well, to spite you, and yeah, I'm gonna do the Martha Mitchell effect. I think it's important that we believe all women, and I think her story is important. So
Yeah, and it deserved a more interesting movie about her.
I think you're wrong.
Okay, you didn't see it, but okay. Yeah, okay.
I'll wait for the episodic part of Martha Mitchell on
Yeah.
Netflix.
All right. Next on my list, let's go with visual effects.
Oh,
Don't you want to go with documentary feature film?
No, that's not the way that my list goes.
Oh,
Okay.
fair word.
Yeah.
visual.
Okay, what do you say? Visual effects?
Yeah, visual effects.
Hold on, I got.
Do I have
find
documentary?
it.
Oh, I do have documentary feature. Oh, it's all the way up there though. We'll get there.
Okay,
Visual effects.
Got it.
We have All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water and Whales, The Batman, Black Panther, and Top Gun. I mean, Avatar needs to get something, and I'm happy to give it this. So that gets my vote. There we go. Alex, what are you voted for visual effects?
Yeah, I've seen everything except for Black Panther. This one I'll just pick what I think will win and what I want to win lines up. It's Avatar.
All
I
right.
think out of all these movies, it's pure visual effects. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a composer of great effects. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Ben, who are you voting for visuals?
Oh God, I'm between Avatar and Top Gun Maverick, because
Mhm.
Top Gun Maverick, man, it's like Spielberg said, it saved movies this year.
Yeah.
People came out to see it, and Top
Vince
Gun didn't see it.
agrees.
Vince agrees.
Vince agrees.
But Avatar, it's like, man, he's doing stuff in Avatar that's like insane. I'm gonna go Avatar, I think.
All right.
Yeah. But I'm not sure, man. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like Avatar's after supporting
made a whole
actor
world.
is the most. I know.
Yeah.
I think Avatar for visual effects almost feels like one of the most sure things. But
the movie's only visual effects.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's point
That's all it is.
0.01%, not visual effects. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
True.
and it's mostly good.
But as Vince said, Top Gun, the actors were flying planes.
Yeah, it's
For crying
practical
out loud.
effects. That's something.
Yeah, and
else.
it's a
My thing
special
that's-
It's a
That's
special.
hanging me up is that I feel like Top Gun, they're going to want to throw a couple bones, because I'm not convinced it's going to win a lot of big awards. And I'm like,
Right.
so I'm like, maybe that's an opportunity for them to be like, we'll pat them on the head and be like, thank you, Top
Yeah,
Gun. You did
but
good work for Hollywood. But I don't know. I'm going with Avatar.
Okay. Lisa, what are you feeling?
Look, I've seen 3 out of the 5. Batman, meh. Black Panther was cool. Top Gun like took my breath away, as per the first movie's song. I really wanted to hate Top Gun, but like visually it was so beautiful, and I don't know. Like, I don't know if the fact that it was practical takes away from the visual effects. But then in the same vein, I'm like, okay, well, if Avatar was like all CGI effects, then that should be animated category. So I think I'm going to stick to my heart, and I want to give it to Top Gun, because not only the actors were flying in the planes, you had to have like a crew member in there too, at least. So
Right.
give it to the crew who like risk their lives in those dogfights.
Right. No, I don't think they'll actually get a statue if it wins, but they should. But
They should. They should. It was
Just like how there
spectacular.
should be a stunt actor category, which I think the stunt unions or whatever have been fighting for years, and like they just don't acknowledge them, which is crap, because they literally risk their lives. Well, I guess on a film set to some degree everybody does, but more so them. It's literally their job to get hurt. So there it is. Casting doesn't get acknowledged either, but yeah. Just give Oscars to all the people who make movies.
Most of the time, casting is just like a big name star who's also listed as a producer.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay, I was gonna weigh in on the casting conversation, but it's another conversation for another day. Jeanette.
As far as I'm concerned, if an Avatar movie comes out in the year that this is going on, that the visual effects category shouldn't happen. Like, Avatar should just get the visual effects award, because it just is that. And so that's also. Let me just say, Ben, I don't think that Top Gun needs any bones thrown to it. It got nominated for Best Picture.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's not
Top
going to
Gun,
win the
that
things
got
it's not.
nominated for Best Picture.
No, the
I'm
nomination's
saying it's
enough.
not going to win. Yeah, is the nomination enough? I don't know. I'm saying I don't think it's going to win those big awards.
Let me
It
just
did
say,
get
The Whale did not get nominated for Best Picture, and Top
Good.
Gun got nominated for Best Picture. Okay.
I forgot Ben
That
has the
was-
hot takes on the whale.
Jeanette.
Whoa.
That's an egregious movie.
I know. I
They
know.
made a good choice.
I was sure The Whale was nominated, and I went to go mark it on the list, and when I realized it wasn't there, I was like,
Devastated.
excuse me? Sorry. So when you said Top Gun needed some bones, I'm like, no, it got plenty of bones. It's got big bones.
It's getting nominated for Bones. It's not going to win the Bones.
Good. It doesn't deserve any bones.
Jeanette.
You
Anna's
have to watch
weighing
the
in.
movies before you can say that. You have to watch the movies.
Oh,
I mean, a whale does blow.
Exactly.
The Whale is a composer of great songs.
Dogs. Ben, do you remember that line from Avatar when Kate Winslet is crying about the whale being killed?
Well,
What
in
did she
fairness,
say?
it was like a whole horde of whales. But yeah.
Yes, she
She was
she's
talking about her special
she's
whale.
screaming and crying about her whale partner being murdered, and she's like, she was a composer of great songs,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and that's my favorite, most quotable line in that movie. And so, yeah. So just for context, Ben, if you hear us talk about whales composing songs, that's why. Lauren,
Wonderful. I love
who's
it.
your pick?
my heart goes to, and the thing that I think will win is Avatar. I really like the film a lot, and the story could have been a little bit whatever, but I was entertained all the way through, and I was amazed by the visual effects. So that's what I'm going with.
All right. Next up, we have film editing.
Wait,
So-
I just want to give a special shout out to All Quiet on the Western Front. I think that
Oh, right.
it's not like it isn't necessarily like I think it's probably potentially a runner-up in the sense that it like the visual effects aside, funnily enough, the one visual effect that I thought was the least believable was the tank
Was the
crushing the guy. So
How dare you?
It was, but everything
Matt's
else,
favorite movie moment.
I know.
yeah, it's a great moment, but it's like pretty unrealistic in my opinion. But
What, you thought it looked fake? You thought it looked like
Well, no-
1997 CG, like a big blocky tank running
no,
over.
it looked video gamey. Like it didn't look fake, but it
Oh,
was
okay.
just so like it was almost like so high res. Like it was almost so good that it looked fake type thing. Like it wasn't
Okay.
gritty enough in my opinion. Just that shot really. But anyway, it's like the point being that I think like it's a great war film and like the effects like 99.9% of the time immerse us in
Oh,
like
yeah.
what's going on, and so in that sense like it does a really good job with the effects in that sense. So just
Yeah, I
wanted to
think it's
mention
definitely
that.
one of those movies where things like the visual effects and other things that it's nominated for are easy to overlook because of how natural everything seems. So yeah, like it's not as flashy as Avatar giving us a brand new species of whale. So
Yeah.
that composes. All right. Editing. Here we go. Our editing options are The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick.
Edit.
I feel like I've been taking lots of risks. So even though I don't know if this is what I think should win, I'm going to go for Everything Everywhere All at Once because I think it will win. So there we are. There we are. Jeanette, what's your vote?
For this one, I said Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've seen 4 of these. Take a wild guess which one I didn't see. And I have to say personally, I have no idea why Tar is nominated at all. I'm kind of like, what
They edited the
noticeable
movie.
editing is like, what role did editing play in that movie?
There are
I
some
don't know.
cuts, some jarring cuts. That
the choice to
There's some
retain
amazing
literally
cuts in
everything they
Tar.
shot.
There's a great cut in Tar where she's playing on the piano, and then it's a jump scare where it cuts to her conducting, and it's so
Yeah.
loud, and that's
Okay,
an amazing
yeah.
cut. Give it an Oscar.
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
could do that on TikTok. That's some TikTok editing right there.
All right. So everything. That's your vote, right?
Yes.
Okay. Lauren, what are you voting for?
Everything Everywhere All at Once
Good. All right.
because it's awesome. And I thought that the editing was actually very good. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's like I said yesterday. I think it's very flashy editing, and I think there were probably movies that had, I don't want to say more thought or care put into the editing, but movies where the editing wasn't as like served to the editor on a silver platter by the script and by the nature of how the movie was structured. But like, yeah, the editing, yeah, it's a very editing movie. Yeah, that's my take. Very editing movie. Alex, who are you editing?
Yeah,
What are
I
you
think
editing?
I only haven't seen Elvis, and I did have the thought that Tar, like kind of similar to what you were saying, Ben, not that you picked Tar yet, but that Tar had some cool sort of cuts and, you know, editorial elements. Probably Maverick did as well, although it's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, I'll pick Everything Everywhere All at Once as well. I basically agree with what you just said. It is an edit, like it's kind of like Avatar's pure visual effects. Everything Everywhere All at Once is not pure editing, but it's a lot of editing.
Yeah, it's most editing, like Anna's saying.
Yeah,
Usually goes to it's like the most editor movie. Yeah.
So
Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I feel pretty confident that Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to get the win. It is, I think, the most edited movie out of all of them, and I think I think it does an effective job. I actually very quickly want to jump back and say that I'm kind of surprised that Everything Everywhere All at Once wasn't nominated for a visual effects nomination.
Yeah,
only
that
because
is a little surprising.
I read about the team on that film, and they used like 10 or 15 people or something, and it was like they did really good work. It was a small group of people, and I'm getting off track. We're talking about editing, but you should read about the people that did the visual effects on that film, because a lot of times people that do the VFX work like aren't paid very well, and they're really like they really carry a lot of what a film looks like. And you know, I think that yeah, I think in some regard, you know, editing is a different job, but I think that all the kind of visual sort of swirl of that movie, I think that, you know, it's very propulsive. I think it really captured people. I love, Lisa and I disagree on this because I was on the Elvis episode with some of you guys, and Lisa, you don't like the Elvis editing. I think the Elvis editing is amazing. Like, I think it's got some of my favorite.
I was surprised you didn't pick. I was sure you were going to pick that.
I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to. I just don't think it's going to win. And then, you know, I think all these, like Tar, I think is really Tar. I could say so much about Tar. Did you guys talk about Tar? You did a Tar episode, right?
Yeah. Wait. Quickly, what did you think of Tar, Ben?
I think Tar is incredible.
Really?
I think Tar is so. I think it's so good. I think name me a less predictable ending than Tar. I don't think anyone could tell you at the beginning of that film where that film arrives. And I just think that movie is doing some incredible stuff.
The end is the most interesting part of that movie.
The Mist is a less predictable ending.
Well, the Mist is pretty.
Although I predicted it, but yeah.
You love Tar. Go watch Todd Field's only other movie called Little Children. Just watch it.
Well, he made In the Bedroom too, which was a movie shot where my grandparents lived in Rockland, Maine, and then he hasn't made a movie since Little Children, right?
Yeah.
He's been living up in Rockport, Maine. Like, he's got a barn up there. He loves Maine. And so I'm from Maine originally. And so I have a real kind of affinity for him because he fell in love with my home state. But Tar, I think, is really incredibly I'm going all over the place. I get all
I wish we had you here last week for Tar.
Well, I rewatched Tar last week. I might have been rewatching it when you guys were talking about it potentially, but because I think that's a movie that's really served by a rewatch, and I think it's really pretty like impressively crafted, and I think that it really wants you to take it like you kind of walk in with sort of her veneer of like seriousness and importance. And I love how the movie breaks it down. And I think a lot of that is done in its editing. This is kind of a sound thing, but I don't know if you guys talked about this. When Tar is running and she's going for a jog, she hears a woman screaming, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that scream is from the Blair Witch Project. He took that scream that Heather Donahue like screams in that movie, and he just like dropped it in Tar. And I
He's
just
just
think it's
lazy,
awesome.
man. He's just reusing assets. What's going
He's
on?
just
man?
reusing assets. I
Are
just
we
think that's
supposed to believe
great.
that she's lost in those woods?
It could be the Blair Witch. She just runs all the way to Maryland.
It's a
you know? I don't know.
crossover.
Gosh.
I think wait, what are the 5? So okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I've
had to
already
pull up
given you my
Vince's comment,
choice.
but yeah.
But Banshees, yeah, I mean these are all good movies, and they all I think Everything Everywhere is gonna win win the trophy, but they're all worthy nominees.
Imagine Stephen King and Todd doing poker nights in
They
Maine.
probably hang out in Central Maine. I love it. I love the guy. And Todd Field does a voice on the cartoon Aqua Teen Hunger Force. He plays a piece of mold called Old Drippy, and he's a piece.
Oh
He's a
my God, are
disgusting
you
piece of
serious?
gray mold.
Yeah,
That's
I
Todd
know.
Field, director of Tar,
Stop.
and he's the voice
Oh
of
my
Old
God.
Drippy.
Oh
I love
my
the guy.
God.
He's so weird. He's living the life.
I don't remember Old Drippy.
Okay.
Early seasons.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Lisa. Who's
I've seen all of them in this category. I think Elvis is the try-hard in this category. Sorry, Ben.
And the succeeding well.
I think if Tar was nominated, I think Women Talking should have been nominated, but alas. I will agree with Anna that most of them, like throughout the history, the most editing gets the award. But even though Everything Everywhere All at Once has the most, they do it well. Like they do it substantially well. So that's my vote, and I'm sticking to it.
Wow, I think this is the first one we've all unanimously
We all said the
picked.
same thing.
Yeah.
Damn, I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Way to go, guys.
Good job. Teamwork. Okay, next we have production design, for which our options are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fabelmans. The only one I haven't seen is Babylon, but the article I read this afternoon said it's going to win. So I'm going to put my blind trust in IndieWire.
Can we talk about? Has anyone seen Babylon?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I really want to. But
So
no.
Babylon was like, I gotta just very quickly. I'll be so fast. Watch Babylon. I was expecting to loathe it because I had heard not great things, and it was like kind of like a box office disaster. And I thought this is going to be so like self-indulgent and a waste of time. It's a fascinating movie. It's like if you. However you feel about Damien Chazelle, the director, he did like La La Land and Whiplash and stuff. The movie, it feels like he wants to quit the industry and he's making a movie to be like, and he doesn't probably, but the movie feels like he's basically like, this is the last movie I'm ever going to make. It's very self-critical. It's really disgusting. There's a lot of gross stuff in it. It's so the opposite of like what I was expecting. And it's worth your time. I think you might hate it, but it goes for it. It really goes for it.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
As am I.
Oh.
So
It's
Ben,
kind
is
of
it your
about
pick for production design?
You know, it should be. It should be. I think I'm gonna go with Elvis though.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Ooh.
do it. I just don't know if I think Babylon has potential in other places that we'll talk about, but I think I was really blown away by Elvis moving through the decades and the production design on that movie.
Well said. All right,
Yeah.
Lisa, what are you feeling?
I've only seen Elvis. Wow. I don't know. I'm gonna say the Academy is gonna throw Elvis a bone.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
But like against my better judgment, Ben.
They made Graceland. It was Graceland. They
Yeah.
did the Christmas special. He did the Christmas.
Hey, put yourself into a film studio and call it a day. That's great.
Jeanette?
I once again, I kind of feel like it's Avatar, just because, like, I mean, if we're gonna say who did the most production design, the man built the largest filming tank in the world. So I mean,
True.
that's production design.
One up
So,
into himself.
He designed new types of whales. So
Yeah. Yeah, you got to give it up. Give it up. They did. They didn't give it up for him in the directing category. That's for sure.
God. All right. Yeah. I say that too whilst sitting in his hometown and blaspheming him. It's great. Yes. Every time I drive into the chunk of the world where I live, there's a giant sign that says "Hometown of James Cameron." I scoff at it.
Are you serious?
When do you think is the
Yeah.
last time he's been back, Matt? You know, that's
Oh,
the thing. He probably hasn't been back in like 40 years.
Yeah,
It's
didn't
true.
his parents move themselves when he was a baby? He
I
was,
think they moved him to here.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Lauren, production design.
I'm going to go with Avatar: The Way of Water because again, I just think that it did amazing things. So yeah, and I really like the film.
So
Alex?
weird. So I am going to pick All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a movie that really relies and benefits from production design.
Oh yeah, they built all those trenches, which I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know the obviously I don't know the behind the scenes.
They didn't find trenches. I'm sure they made.
No, I just meant more so I don't, did they build trenches or did they build a 5 or 6 meter thing and everything else was some kind of trickery or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, but
Point
even the
is-
trickery would have had to be designed in a production capacity.
Oh,
so
for sure. But
yeah.
I'm saying, but
I'm
anyway,
agreeing with you in this argument.
yeah. I guess I also don't know where production design ends and visual effects begins or editing begins or right the blurry line between all these.
Well, I mean,
elements.
I don't think the editors created the trenches, but yeah.
No, but a visual effect artist who's the Avatar CGI, is that production
give
design
them the Oscar. They
simultaneous
dug
with
holes
visual
in the ground.
effects?
Yeah.
Also, they anyway.
Who
Anyway,
made the trenches?
Yeah, were the trenches made? Were they already here? Were they the aliens? Did they leave us the trenches and we just discovered them? What's going on? Are those Amazon trenches? Anyway, so all that to say, yeah, I think that movie kind of relies on it, and yeah, I've seen 3 of these films. The runner-up, I would say, for me, is The Fabelmans. Actually, I would say that's another movie that I think the production of that movie just is a big part of the success of that movie and the way and the impact of it and the way it works.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see that too. I feel I'm regretting voting for Babylon now, just because I read.
But
that
Matt,
stupid article.
Babylon is the industry front-runner.
That's true.
To IndieWire.
Although
So you're most likely to win out of all.
That's
of us.
true, but IndieWire's article, maybe they said Babylon for costume design. Who knows?
Oh.
But whatever. But I think I was gonna say between Fabelmans and Elvis, if we're looking at production design for period appropriate, I probably would have voted for Elvis. In fact, my heart kind of goes with Elvis, but no, it's in ink. I voted for Babylon. This might be what wins me a T-shirt. So there we go. Cinematography. Here we go. Wow, there's a big category on this side of the list.
Cinematography.
So cinematography, we have All Quiet on the Western Front, but
Good.
I haven't even heard of this movie. Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. That sounds like an animated short film from this year.
Yeah, it does.
Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. Did anyone see
Wow.
Bardo or Empire of Light?
I saw
Ben, tell me about
Bardo.
these. Tell me about it.
So
What is it?
Bardo is Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, who did Birdman and The Revenant.
Oh,
And
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
it's a movie. It's an autobiographical, kind of semi-autobiographical film about a director who's like a stand-in for Iñárritu, and he's basically kind of just it's like chronicling his life, some of his personal tragedies, his work, and it's mostly about, I think, this tension about how Iñárritu has kind of in some ways sold out from his home country and feeling this how much am I sort of falling into becoming this Hollywood American director kind of. It's a 3-hour one, and your mileage may vary depending on how much you like Iñárritu. I'll just put it that way.
okay.
But it's shot
Where is it
yeah.
on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It's
Cool.
on
Okay,
Netflix.
okay.
Yeah, it's funny too because his standing. I mean, this is a guy who won Best Director like 2 years in a row, maybe? I might be wrong about that. Yeah, 14 he won for Birdman and 15 he won for The Revenant. And now look, he's made this film, and it's like barely anybody's seen it, you know. So it is kind of fascinating. It's a lot like 8.5 if you've seen Fellini's 8.5, but with an Iñárritu flavor, and that it's like about a filmmaker kind of exploring his own sort of like internal struggles. Yeah.
Wait, which one is this one? Bardo?
It's called Bardo. Or a chronicle of a handful of truths or something. He loves to throw, subtitles on his movies, on the titles of his movies. Birdman and the Virtue of Ignorance, and he loves doing that.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the subtitle for Birdman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a long one.
I gotta know what it is.
Yeah. It's. I feel like it's something very similar to False Chronicles of a Handful of Truths, even though
it's something about a virtue of ignorance. Birdman or the unexpected virtue of ignorance, which everybody calls it that.
Yeah, it's the only thing I think of when I think of that movie. But I don't know, like something I was not aware of is that Elvis's cinematographer is a female cinematographer, so it would be just cool in general if a lady were to win that award, because I don't know if we've had many, if any, winners. It seems like something Ben would know. Ben, do you know? Have we had any female cinematographers
win? I don't know if any have won. Let's find out.
Because I think barely any have been nominated.
I think Rachel Morrison was nominated for Mudbound potentially. Any female best cinematography Oscar winners? Let's find this out.
Let's find out.
I mean, the first woman to be nominated was Rachel Morrison. I don't think she won.
Right.
So that was 2017. So I do not think that there has been. No, she did not win. So there has not been. And if the cinematographer of Elvis were to win, I'd be so happy.
Well, I think it was visually, like, it was really beautiful to look at. So I would be happy if it won just on artistic merit. Plus, if we're going with like supporting actor logic of who is the human and do I want them to win, kind of like, it gets an extra point for me there. Tar would be my personal pick because of that long take at the beginning in the room. Because as I've said, I'm a sucker for things that are technically impressive and serve a story that don't just draw attention to themselves for being cool. I felt that that's what that was. But for whatever reason, I feel like this is an All Quiet on the Western Front win. And I don't know why. It just seems like it is. Like when Dune won last year. Well, why? Alex, you tell us why. Is that your pick too?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I think that again, it's kind of similar to the production point. I think like the shots, the cinematography, the establishing shots, and just the framing of the movie for a war film that shows you the environment that the action is taking place in. That shows you like the claustrophobic moments when there's the shells are dropping and the soldiers going crazy. That shows you the like. Yeah, when it's that scene with the main character and the enemy soldier that they're separated by that body of water, and the one guy, I forget what happens, if his gun jams or whatnot, but eventually he runs up and stabs him. Anyway, like there's like all like cinematography is so important for that kind of a movie. And yeah, I think actually there probably are films that aren't on this list that I would have picked over that. That I've seen, but yeah,
just name one for time. But yeah,
well, potentially something like the Banshees of Inisherin. Like potentially that would be something where I thought that's a movie that the cinematography, some of the shots like were notable, stood out to me, like visually looking appealing, visually making me feel something. But yeah, so.
I'll second Alex's thoughts on that. I was really shocked that Banshees wasn't on this list because that was who I was going to pick for this. And there was a few times in my picking for the Oscars where I went to a list knowing who I wanted to pick and they weren't nominated. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then that always makes me question whether I'm actually looking at the right qualities for that category in a movie. I'm like, so am I looking at the right thing? But yeah, I would second that. I wanted Banshees to be nominated.
Even everything
looking
everywhere
for the right things.
Yeah,
I would deserve that. I would deserve that. Yeah,
right.
Should have won. Like that was my choice, and then I looked at the list and I was like,
Yeah.
We can just give them an honorary cinematography.
Right.
Oscar.
I went with Elvis though.
Elvis? Alright.
The scene that stood out to me that made me pick Elvis over anybody else here,
Mhm.
other than the fact that I've only other than that seen Tar, was that scene in the revival tent. That's like the shots
Oh,
in
right.
that scene were so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, no, it's a visually beautiful movie. Like I would just look at pictures of Elvis all day long. Like the movie. Well, I guess the singer too. Why not? But yeah, all day long. Lauren, who's your cinematography pick?
I've only seen Elvis. Interestingly enough,
Mhm.
I feel like All Quiet on the Western Front is going to win because they need to give it something, and
Yeah.
and it's a war film, and I've seen footage from it, and I think that it looks amazing. I haven't seen it yet just because it's so hard for me to get into war films. So it's like I really have to be right in that moment. And I just haven't gotten there yet, but I will watch it before the Oscars.
Yeah, just afternoon with lots of caffeine. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm just going to go with that. But I also echo Banshees should have been on here.
Mhm. Well said. Ben, what was your pick?
Yeah, Banshees is a gorgeous movie. I think another movie that a lot of people were expecting to be on this list that did not make the cut was Top Gun, because of what Vince was mentioning about
Right.
putting these cameras in the cockpits of planes. Yeah, exactly, Vince. I think it was well deserving of a nomination. I mean, like I've watched maybe 5 minutes of Empire of Light, and it is a very nice looking movie, and like Roger Deakins is Roger Deakins, but
is it Roger Deakins? Oh,
yeah, he shot Empire of Light. You watch 5 minutes of Empire of Light, you'll be like, okay, we'll see. I think that it's going to be All Quiet on the Western Front as well, the movie I'm currently watching, and we'll finish after this recording. Just because of what both Lauren and Alex have mentioned. I think it's beautifully shot. It might almost be beautifully shot to a fault. Like it looks almost too good sometimes, where I'm just like, wow, this is like it's really striving for such like visual kind of poetry almost, that like I'm often like distracted by sort of how incredibly like lit and composed it is. But I think that's what the Academy is going to lean into. But I'm glad you're giving a shout out to Elvis, because I think you're right. That's another beautifully shot movie. And Matt, if you like looking at shots of Elvis, there's a Twitter account called Every Elvis Second. And every day they tweet a second of Elvis, and they're now on like an hour, 20 minutes. And it really helps you. Like, I'll be like, wow, that was an incredibly composed shot. They'll put
like of the movie. I thought you meant like of Elvis's movies. Real.
Oh no, sorry, of the movie Elvis.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's every second of the movie Elvis, and it's a frame. And like it will really make me like, you know, appreciate like the lighting and composition of those shots. A lot of the times,
don't lie. You created this site that you're talking
no,
about.
I did. I wish I did. It's such
It
a
was
good
you.
idea. It's such a good idea. I wish I created it because, as you guys know, I'm the biggest fan of Baz Luhrmann's Elvis on the planet. I do really like it. But they frame Elvis a lot with like halos. Like sometimes, like you know, a firework will explode above him in a reflection, and it will be like a halo. It's like it's incredible conceptual stuff. I'm like, this is wild. But I don't think it's gonna win.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be All Quiet on the Western.
Well said. Lisa, what's your pick?
I've only seen Elvis and Tar. I'm very taken with Bardo, with your
I really want to watch that.
I really want to watch now. I do think like historically, war films do well in this category, like 1917, Saving Private Ryan, Braveheart, like those have all won for cinematography. And there's like none that are like Dune-esque like last year in this category to me. Which is something that I would normally be like, yeah, that's the type of movie that's going to get the win. So I'm going to stick safely with all Quiet. But every time I think of this title, I think of the 1930 version of the movie. Yeah. So I really need to watch the 2022 version if it does win.
I want to watch the 1930s version. I'm just so curious to see.
It's very dark. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is dark. The tank crushes the guy. Still not over it.
That's what happens in war.
I guess it does. Now I know that. There it is. So costume design is next. Our options are Babylon, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Woo!
Yeah,
Mrs. Harris, baby.
I'm voting
She
Mrs.
rules.
Harris. I'm voting Mrs. Harris.
Yes,
Because
Matt.
Jenny Bevan always wins, and I love her. I love her work. And I saw Mrs. Harris, and the costumes were the best part. The movie was fantastic, but like it's a movie that is about fashion. So, and plus it's a period piece. I do love in theory and in practice Wakanda Forever, like the melding of using actual cultural inspiration and then creating their own like sci-fi world within that. I think that's beautiful, but also Wakanda won for that. Wakanda won. Black Panther won already for that, and I just love Jenny Bevan, so she gets my vote. So yeah. Ben, who are you picking?
I gotta say, I'm not going with Mrs. Harris, unfortunately, but I do love that you are, because it's such a fun, just a delightful film, and the costume design is so crucial, like you said. I'm going for Elvis with this. I think that there's great recreations of iconic outfits that Elvis wears, and I think it also really helped shape that performance, like the way that we talked about this a bit in that episode, but the way that he holds and carries his body, a lot of that is dictated by the costuming, and so I think that it was crucial, really important work, and I think it was really effective work too. So I'd love to see it win. But that's what I'm going to go for.
Well said. Lisa, who are you voting for costumes?
I'm so sorry. I have a tangerine in my mouth.
Oh, it's okay.
I think Mrs. Harris and Elvis, because they're period pieces, they're kind of easy in my mind, like in terms of like the creation and like the creativity from the costume designer. That's why I lean to like Black Panther, because like they had to like really do research to create the world and the costumes for these characters, because it's not it. I mean, it is based in research, but this is a new world. So there's a part of me that wants to say Black Panther, but I'm very taken with what you say, Matt, about Mrs. Harris. I don't know. Jenny's won a bunch in the past.
Oh, Jenny basically always wins.
So I just look at her. She's a shoo-in. So I'm gonna go with Mrs. Harris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Très bien.
She went to Paris.
She did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also when I think of Wakanda Forever, and I feel like I was more impressed with the costumes in the first Black Panther movie. I know it's not a contest. Well, it is literally a contest. It's the Oscars. But it's not a contest to the last Black Panther movie in this one. But in the last one, there was more focus on like the different communities and the different tribes and how all of those, like how they were all reflected within the costume design. And in this, it was mostly like Wakanda plus mermaid people. And mermaid people looked fine, but
the mermaid people were based in indigenous Mexican.
were they? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Aztec,
Mayan,
yeah, and like all of their costume pieces and even makeup were based in historical.
Well, damn! Now I want to change my vote, Lisa. No, it's too late though. It's in ink.
It's in ink. It's in ink.
It's in ink. Yeah. No, Mrs. Harris, Jenny. Yeah. There we go. Jeanette.
So, I originally I was going to say Elvis because it is wonderful. It's very accurate and everything. But I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once, just because I think sometimes when you have to do like regular clothes and make it believable, and then also show the same person in so many different outfits. Like, I feel like there's something to be said for how many times we have to see them and that it needs to be believable that it's a different universe and stuff like that. So that's why I'm going with that one.
Well said. Lauren?
I mean, I really love Black Panther and Wakanda Forever, and I think that they put so much research into it. Ruth Carter is such a great costume designer, and she deserves to win Black Panther. She deserves to win this one. But I also think that Everything Everywhere All at Once, all of those outfits that Jobu wore, were like just amazing, and I just feel like that and the other universes that that we saw Evelyn in particular in. I just thought that it was such a great. It was such a great costume movie.
This was what I was
Yeah.
saying too. I didn't know if that was considered visual effects or costume design. I wanted to say that as well. That was
hot
actually
dog
what got
fingers?
me to change my vote from Elvis.
The hot dog fingers?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a costume.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Prop.
It is.
That's what I thought. I was like,
Practical
I don't
were
know
those
if
hot
that's-
dogs, you know?
That's
We
true.
don't know.
Yeah.
Alex, who's your costume vote?
You know what? I was going to do, a crazy thing, and because I've only seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, so I was going to be like, you know what? I was going to pick Wakanda, Black Panther, because I've seen the original Black Panther, and I didn't feel like Everything Everywhere All at Once initially. I didn't feel like it was strong enough, personally. But after hearing some of the discussion about it, hearing Lauren's love for the costumes, Jeanette's point as well. I think I should give it a fair shake, and so I think I'll stick with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think there's some value there.
Ooh, so no one voted for Black Panther.
I feel like I want to change my answer to blank. Can
See,
I?
look, it's an ink. It's an ink.
Oh,
Let her
It's an
do it, Matt. Let her
Okay.
do it.
yeah, I want to change it. I want to
Okay.
change it.
Here
Yeah,
we go.
Black Panther.
Lisa. There we go.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Now I feel like I should, but no. I've committed to Jenny and to Mrs. Harris. So there it is. All right. I need to stop voting with my heart. All right. Next, makeup and hairstyling. We're just all going to vote for the whale, aren't we? Your options are
is
the
that,
Yeah,
considered-
this
is that
is-
technically
this
part of
is
makeup?
the-
Yeah.
Is it the whale?
Are
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Yes.
Yeah, so our options are
What?
the
No,
whale,
what are you talking about?
Elvis.
Am I kidding you? What are you
It's
talking
special
about?
effects makeup. What do you-
Yeah, it deserves.
I don't know.
We're-
Makeup to me is powder and paint and shit. It's not like prosthetics and rubber
is.
and
Yes, it-
and I'm not
Blubber?
saying I'm
No,
right.
that's
say
part of
blubber?
it.
I'm right.
The-
That's my
Okay.
ignorant opinion. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm explaining my perspective. If you guys are all here to educate me that makeup includes prosthetics and costumes, what I think of as costume pieces, then I accept. And from now on, that's what I'll think makeup is. I'm just saying that's what I thought. All right.
Okay, well, the other nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther, and Elvis. I'm voting for the whale.
Mhm.
Is anyone not voting for the whale? Ben, what are you
I
voting
think I think it very well could be. In fact, it's probably likely it's going to be the whale. I'm going to put Elvis.
for? Okay.
I'm going to do it.
For
was
to mix
makeup
it up a little
and
bit.
Hair. Oh, well, I guess
Yeah.
Elvis hair. Yeah.
Elvis
Yeah,
Presley.
you got it's another thing where like there's a lot of prosthetic work happening in that movie, but it's very subtle.
Right.
On Austin Butler, it's not very subtle on Tom Hanks, but that has a lot of prosthetic work, But the whale, I think it's like I think it's really neck and neck between those two. Well,
And then,
I shouldn't
no
say
pun,
neck and neck.
no
If
pun
there's-
intended. Because if you're comparing Brendan Fraser's neck and Tom Hanks'
Tom
neck
Hanks.
in
Yeah.
those two movies, there's a clear winner in whose neck is winning.
That's true.
Oh my God.
I would say the whale's probably more likely, but I'm just gonna do a little swing for Elvis for this category.
All right.
Nice.
We'll see what happens.
Anyone else not voting for the whale? All right,
Obviously,
everyone
I'm
else is
voting
here
for
for
the
the whale.
Batman. I'm obviously voting for Batman.
Oh, are you voting for the Batman? Oh, okay.
I'm being
It's Colin
sarcastic.
Farrell. The work on Colin Farrell. They
I
made him
was
look
like,
like
oh,
Richard
really?
Kind.
Actually, yeah, Colin Farrell looks.
Colin
That's a great
Farrell.
point.
Wait,
Colin
which
Farrell.
fat suit was better? Tom Hanks, Colin Farrell, or the whale?
Brendan Fraser.
The whale.
The whale.
Brendan Fraser's was better. That's who
But
do.
you got to look beyond just the fat suit. It's the makeup for the whole.
Yeah.
No,
the
it's
whole
true.
thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, apparently Zoe's makeup was on point.
Yeah, she had good winged eyes.
yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Batman. I think
Really?
Yeah.
specifically that Colin Farrell. You reminded me of how he looked
I was-
incredible and so different.
He looked like Richard Kind.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, Robert Pattinson's eyes weren't even good emo eyes, much
I
less good
know.
Batman eyes.
So were they supposed to be emo? I haven't seen it. Wasn't the whole idea just that it was so that his eyes would blend in with the mask, as opposed to trying to?
Sure, but then
Yeah.
it's supposed to look like he's
Supposed to get
Yeah, no, because it's not. I don't think that's it. Because
grungy and
yeah, we see him in context where it's not like he just took his mask off or whatever.
really?
Like we see
Okay.
him when he's just like in kind of normal mode and he has like dark eyes.
I still need to see it. I
He's
wanna
pretty
see it.
broody.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
meh.
All right. So next we have sound, everyone's favorite category. Our options are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun. What are we thinking? I'm gonna go last. I always go first, and then I regret it after hearing what everyone else says. I'm picking based on your opinions.
I'll go first.
Go.
Yeah, I think I'll pick All Quiet. I think again, it's like for the I don't have any specific scenes in mind, but I think the sound, whether it's soundtrack or ambient sound in a war film and in this war film, I think is again just super important. So it's and I just want to clarify, I realize that like every movie, like cinematography and sound and all these elements are important to how we, experience films. But so I understand that if anybody's, kind of thinking, oh, he's just saying that like things that are important for everything are important for this film. But anyway, yeah, and I think, hopefully my point still comes across.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Am I crazy? Was there ever a point when there were two sound categories?
There was, until
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, like there was
mixing and
post-sound
editing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it just
I think
one
they-
now?
I think because they were like, people were losing ratings and we need to change the ceremony and people don't like the sound category, so we're going to make it one category. I think
That's
that's honestly why
terrible.
they did it. Yeah. So now
So
it's
then
just
how
best
do you
sound.
decide who gets nominated?
I think
You just mesh them together.
yeah, that's why there's like two people. One is probably the sound editor,
Oh,
sound
okay.
mixer. Yeah.
Still don't like it. Anyway, Ben, who are you picking?
Top Gun Mav, the big Mav. I think for similar reasons that Alex was talking about, I think All Quiet on the Western Front has a really viable shot. Like I think I'm watching it at home and I just got a little sound bar and it does feel like very absorbing and they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff in the mix. And I think Top Gun did a similarly kind of effective thing just for what it was doing. But I'm just leaning into Top Gun Maverick for it.
Lisa?
I'm gonna lean into Top Gun Maverick too. That was incredible watching it on my living room TV. It sounded phenomenal.
I believe it. Jeanette?
So I'm gonna be Avatar: Way of Water because
Okay.
how can you hear the great songs if the sound is not good?
You can't.
Well said.
I
Lauren?
like that.
I want to pick Avatar: The Way of Water, but I kind of think it might go to Top Gun. So I'm going to go with Top Gun.
Usually it's whatever has the most loud cars, loud airplanes, big
Yeah,
explosions.
exactly.
Out motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, that was where the difference in the sound categories used to come from. You had a sound category and then you had sound mixing. And sound mixing to me was much more apparent about what you were really looking for because I was like, could I hear words and explosions at the same time?
Right.
Oh, on that note, Everything Everywhere for me, I thought was terrible in that regard. Like without watching it without subtitles was awful for me. But
Interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
I never.
I like the
anything without
movie,
subtitles, but yeah. No. Based on what everyone has said, I'm giving my vote to Top Gun because also I realized I haven't voted for Top Gun for anything yet. It's gonna win. It's gotta win something. So
It saved movies.
it did. But you know who else saved movies? Jamie Lee Curtis. She said that in an interview. She was like, "It wasn't."
I
Just,
saved movies.
yeah, she was like,
I
"It wasn't
saved-
just Tom Cruise. I also saved movies." It's basically what her quote was. So thank you, Jamie.
Thank you,
All
Jamie.
right. Next, let's talk about original screenplay. The options here are Triangle of Sadness, Tar, The Fablemans, Everything Everywhere, and Banshees. I'm torn between Banshees and Everything Everywhere, personally. Yeah, so I'm gonna make my decision after I hear what all of you have to say. Lauren, you go first.
I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just think it was so unique. It was like one of the most unique stories of the year, and I love it.
Well said. Jeanette?
So I'm going to go with Everything Everywhere as well. I think that to write a multiverse movie is ambitious, to say the least, because you can fall away with a lot of plot holes. And you just have to make a movie where people don't care because it's impossible to seal those all up. So
Mhm.
Well said. Lisa?
Same. Just like everything. It was perfect. For such a for what it was, a story about generational trauma and a mother and daughter relationship,
Mhm.
for it to encompass so many complexities.
Mhm.
Done. Like no debate. No debate.
Yeah.
Well said. Ben?
I'll debate. I'm gonna say that it's gonna go to Banshees.
Ooh.
I'm not 100% sure. I actually think I think that Everything Everywhere is like, it's another one where to me it's very close and that you could really justify either. I would love to see Tar win it, but I really would. I think it would rule.
You can
to
stay
see
on that
Tar-
island. You can.
I love it. You know,
We'll send you postcards.
look,
We'll let you
someone
know.
had to document the Lydia Tar story and to do it so
Oh
effectively.
my god.
But to be honest, though, that screenplay is fascinating. It's only about 90 pages, and it has like a disclaimer at the beginning of it. You can read a lot of these nominated screenplays online a lot of the years, if you're ever curious. And Tars has like a disclaimer that's like, this screenplay is only 90 pages, but trust me that like its rhythms are different. It's just written in a very unusual way.
Don't worry,
so
the movie will be 4 hours long. That's
It's
fine.
it's a very unique script in terms of its construction. I feel like Banshees is, I think it's a really well liked film, much like Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I think that I do, and we'll get to like the kind of like the best picture stuff later, but I think Everything Everywhere, it is a sensibility that has appealed to tons of people. But it also, there's a lot of old, I don't want to say it's like old people's fault, but people's parents, there's people that like, I've read about people that try to show this movie to their parents and they're just like, what? Like they can't connect with
Oh yeah, my
its
parents.
sense of humor,
Yeah.
and so I think there's a lot of people that like that sense of humor really aligns with, and then there's other people that like, there's something a little bit more kind of snappy in the dialogue maybe of a McDonough script, and so I think that might be where they give it sort of like a bit of a nod of the hat. But I do think that anybody saying Everything Everywhere has a very, very good, very clear argument, and I think that there's a really good shot for that too. But I'm just going to put Banshees for this.
Oh, you're making me more conflicted, Ben. Anyway, Alex.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. I'm going to pick Everything because I think that's going to win, but I want Banshees to win. I personally, Banshees out of all these options that I've seen, which is everything except for Triangle, Banshees was my favorite screenplay. But yeah, I think Everything is more likely to win. And if I'm being honest, in terms of original screenplay, like I found, like I like my probable favorite film of all time is In Bruges. So I find like I think there are similarities in the writing and the dialogue specifically. The premise, no, but the dialogue, I think there are similarities. So and the characters as well. So that might be a knock against it in terms of originality. But yeah, I still want it to win because I just really like it. But yeah, everything.
Yeah, I
That's
think I feel like Everything will win, and I feel that it does deserve to win, but I also want to keep things interesting. So I think I'll go for Banshees against my better judgment.
Matt. Don't trust me, Matt. Don't listen to me.
No,
I don't know what I'm
no.
talking about.
No, Ben, you articulated everything that I was thinking about that movie that I think made it work. And also, I feel like it's such a good movie, and I think that this might be the one place where it gets an actual award comparative to the other things it's nominated for.
See, that's where I might flip it around, where I feel like they're going to honor it in other ways that are pretty substantial, and I think that the screenplay where they can be like, they'll often be kind of risky with the original screenplay, and with the screenplay, both screenplays, they'll be kind of like, this movie kind of is a little bit out there, and that might be another reason too why Everything Everywhere is like a good pick, because a lot of the bolder nominations tend to be rewarded in those categories. I think generally.
Yeah, I think the other reason is because Banshees is such a simple movie and everything hinges on what's written, like on the dialogue, as opposed to, well, granted, Everything Everywhere All at Once, still the screenplay is dictating all the craziness that's happening. But anyway, Banshees, it's in ink. It's done. It's done. I think Jeanette has to take off, but Jeanette, any closing thoughts?
Jeanette, no.
Jeanette, you can't leave us.
Yeah, I so sorry. Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, I think I've kind of said everything, my lingering thoughts. I wish The Whale was nominated for Best Picture. And yeah, that was my one big thought for everything overall, was that I just wish that was nominated.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well, I have the rest of your picks, so don't worry. You're still in the running for the shirt.
Oh,
yes. There we are. Yes. So enjoy your Disney evening, wherever it takes you.
Yeah, there'll be more to come.
Woo!
Yay!
Bye, Jeanette.
And this is such a fun Oscar season.
Jeanette,
Thank you, everybody.
We miss you. Bye. Woot.
Bye.
All right, and then there were 5. Okay, next we're gonna look at Best Original Song. Which, how many of these have I heard? Very few of them. Well, I guess I've heard all of them. I couldn't hum any of them for you. Our options are Applause from Take It Like a Woman.
Diane Warren. Every year there's like a Diane Warren movie that she does a song for that no one's seen. And she gets a nomination.
And is that this one? Okay, there we go.
Yes.
Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. How do I not say this name from RRR? Not to. And then This Is Life from Everything. I think I'm going to go with Lift Me Up, because when that song started over the credits, it got me, and I thought this song is gorgeous and I love it. So the Black Panther song gets my vote. Here we are. Lauren, who are you voting for?
Well, I really want Lift Me Up to win, and I think it has a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
But Natu won something recently. I think
Golden Globe,
Grammy.
didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the Golden Globe and the Grammy. So I might go for Natu.
Okay. There we go. Is that your final answer? It's in ink. It's done. Done.
That'll be fun. Yeah. I'll take a risk.
Okay. And from everything I've heard, I think this might be the only nomination for that movie. And at the very least, I know Vince likes it. And I trust Vince's judgment.
I was waiting for Vince to oh no, there he did say.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I'm going to win.
Natu is a bop, and it is honestly an amazing movie. It deserved at least more nominations in the international category, in the visual effects category. It got snubbed, but
I think I watch that tonight.
I have to. Well, is it on Netflix? I got rid of Netflix.
It is. It's on Netflix.
It is.
Yeah.
I got rid of Netflix to protest them, but whatever. For taking my money. I know. So I'll watch it when I get Netflix back in like 2 to 3 months. I'll see how long I can hold out, and then I'll watch it. So Lisa, is that your pick?
No. I disagree with Vin. I mean, it was a bop, but Lady Gaga, Hold My Hand. It is a much better version of Take My Breath Away.
Whoa!
I will say it. It's been stuck in my head since I've seen it. They use the motif of the song beautifully throughout the movie with Jennifer Connelly, because that's technically her character's song. It's beautiful. I will not be upset if Rihanna wins for Lift Me Up, but my girl Lady Gaga's got to take it. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, see, if I knew it was Lady Gaga, actually no. I still would have voted for the Rihanna Black Panther song. Just
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair
Although I think that's the only song. Oh no, I saw some of these other movies, but that's the only song I remember. I couldn't hum it,
Ooh.
but I remember thinking, good song. Ben, who are you voting for?
I think it's going to be Not To. It's taking the
Ooh.
world by storm. It is a
Has
bop.
it?
It's
It is.
It's pure
What?
joy. People love it.
Hum it
It's
for me.
great. I can't hum Not To. I just know people. I haven't seen RRR.
Come in and perform it. There's a whole dance that goes with it too.
There's a dance, and it makes people feel great. And I think the Lady Gaga song, by the way, Lisa, is fantastic. Like, I think it's a great song. I've heard Tom Cruise talk about that song, being like, "We needed that song. Like, that song saved our movie." Like, he's like, it's like that song was so crucial to the success of that movie. To the point, I think that she's credited as one of the composers on the film. Right?
She's up there with Hans Zimmer. Like,
yeah,
like,
that's right.
credit,
So we don't want to diminish her work on that movie, because I think it's pretty extraordinary. But I do think RR is gonna, or Not To is gonna take.
Yeah.
Well said. All right, Alex.
So I saw Top Gun and then Everything Everywhere. Those are the only ones that I saw, but I don't remember what these songs / sounds sound like. I saw Everything Everywhere today, and I don't remember I don't know what this title is. I didn't pay attention to titles, and
I just know it's not the song that Rakakuni sings, and if it was, it would have gotten my vote, but it's not.
yeah. So I'm gonna pick Not To for best title of these songs.
Nice. And Jeanette voted for 2, evidently. She voted for Top Gun as well as Everything Everywhere.
She can't vote for Top Gun.
Apparently,
Yeah.
she
Why
did.
not? She likes Lady Gaga. Don't tell a queer woman what to do.
No. Well, since she has to pick one, let's pick for her. Let's pick the Lady Gaga song.
Yeah,
There we
no.
go.
Let's
there you
let's
go.
Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, everything up until now has been very venomously against Top Gun, but
Yeah, but Lady Gaga cancels everything that she
That's
stands
true.
against.
all right, all right. Your word.
She's gonna
We'll
come
hold her
back
to
to
it.
and be like, absolutely not. How dare you?
Okay, next original score. We have All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, Banshees, Everything, and Fablemans. I'm voting for All Quiet on the Western Front because I could hum that for you, and I will right now.
It's pretty cool. It's a kind of
It
a cool
is.
score. Yeah,
It
it's
sets the
unexpected.
mood perfectly. I loved it. It was simpler than the Jaws theme, which is iconic. It was just like one note. Well, there were other notes, but still. That's my vote. All's quiet. Ben, what are you voting for?
I think that this is the one place that Babylon's like kind of a surefire thing. I think.
Ooh.
I could be wrong. But that score, if we talk about bops, I think that score bops. Justin Hurwitz. He kind of uses some of the La La Land score in it, which is interesting, but it's got this kind of like it's like a real like bouncy jazzy score, and it's like it really like carries a lot of that movie, and that's a long movie. So I'm gonna give it to Justin Hurwitz, who I learned recently is not only a composer but has written episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Seriously?
He writes comedy
Wow.
scripts. Yeah. So he's a
So he's a
talented guy
composer
that
of
just-
great songs and a writer of great scripts. Are we sure he's not a Tolkien?
There was a season where Larry David had a fatwa against him, and they
Oh
musical.
man, that's like
And
one
I
of the
think
early
that they
seasons.
brought him in because he's like a musical guy. He understands like I think that and I don't know exactly what the story is, but he writes stuff too, which is kind of cool. But that score is awesome. So I think that that's a place where it could carry it.
All right. Now I want to change. No, I'm not changing my vote. I vote for All's Quiet. Who's next? Alex, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was conflicted because I thought for some reason that for a moment there I thought I was going to pick the Fablemans because I remembered I vaguely recollected that that maybe I thought the score was notable, but then I realized probably not. Probably the main thing was just the cinematography for me in that movie. So not going to pick that. I think it's between Banshees and Everything for me. And I think I'm going to pick... Everything, yeah. In spite of the fact that I felt I don't know if this is accurate, but I felt from the beginning that it was very reminiscent of Parasite. Just there was the music of it. There was there was I don't know, like a tension / anxiety thing going on with some of the instrumentals. This like the psycho, like some intervals, some like close intervals that were making me feel uneasy. So I think that's cool. So Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well said. All right, Lorne.
I'm in between Everything Everywhere All at Once and the Banshees of Inisherin. I love Irish music, so I like my heart kind of goes to it. So you know what? I'm gonna pick Banshees.
Banshees, nice. Jeanette's with you as well. Jeanette voted Banshees. Okay. All right. Out of all, yeah.
I think, I don't know. I think I want Banshees to win, but I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be sad if it did, but
no, it's gotta be All Quiet on the Western Front. I stand by that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just that one note.
Is it
There we go. I let Alex go for a second because he needed an intermission, but we're gonna continue, and then
all right.
When he comes back, we'll humiliate him. It will be great. Next, international feature film. Our options are The Quiet Girl from Ireland, EO from Poland, Close from Belgium, Argentina 1985 from Argentina, and All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, why? How? How
what?
This category? Because
How what? Oh, RR.
Because it's
it's
Germany.
German.
Yeah, it's very much a German movie.
They're doing it kind of like the Parasite thing where they had it in both categories. Maybe Drive My Car last year too. I can't remember if that was in.
Yeah, I think it was.
Also. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's a clear win for All Quiet and it might even win Best Picture. I wouldn't be surprised.
Stop it.
I don't know if I'd be happy, but
I do want to say something about this, Matt.
Yeah.
I gotta just say that this was a great year for donkeys in film because we had Jenny the donkey in Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
We had a donkey, unnamed donkey in Triangle of Sadness, which I thought might be nominated for this category, but wasn't. And then I bring it up because of EO, which is, I don't know if you guys have seen EO. It's made by this 85-year-old Polish director named Jerzy. I can't remember his last name. It starts with a K. I can't pronounce it. But it's a movie about a donkey who just experiences kind of all of like what life and humanity has to offer. And sometimes it's pretty grueling and sometimes it's uplifting.
Is the donkey the main character of this movie?
The donkey's the main character of the movie. It's played by six donkeys.
It sounds like Everything Everywhere All at Once, but from a donkey perspective.
It's called EO because that's what a Dio. Yeah, it's kind of similar. It's called EO because that's the name of the donkey, and because donkeys go EO, that's honestly why it's called that. And it's like 80 minutes. It's a pretty moving, kind of weird movie, but yeah, great year for donkeys in cinema. So I just want to give it up for the donkeys. And if you saw Banshees, we know we all love Jenny the donkey.
I do love Jenny the donkey.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Jenny.
Yes. R.I.P. Jenny. The real Jenny who I've heard she's doing great. She's like living on a farm somewhere.
I want her to go to the Oscars. I want her to be on the red carpet.
With a necklace of carrots.
That would be so cool.
Oh, I would
I love that.
Yeah. Wait, Vince, what are you talking? Did you not see Encanto? Come on.
I haven't seen Encanto.
There's a whole chorus of dancing donkeys.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, and Shrek, exactly. Yeah. The donkeys are the best part of Encanto. I mean, standards are low because I don't like that movie, but still, the donkeys are the best part. So there we are. Anyway, did anyone else vote for this? Ben, what was your pick?
All Quiet.
Okay.
Because it's the only one nominated for picture. I mean, it kind of is a weird category because if you're going to nominate an international film for Best Picture, you're kind of saying indirectly like this is the best of the international films because the other ones aren't nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
You know? It's kind of weird.
Same with animated features on the rare occasion that they also get nominated for Best Picture as well.
True.
Yeah. Like #up. Lisa, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go with All Quiet. All Quiet because I haven't seen any of the others. Although I'm very interested to see The Quiet Girl, based on Anna's comments. Is it Gaelic? I'm guessing Irish. The Irish language is Gaelic. I don't know. Either way, I'm interested in that. And but yeah, I haven't seen any of the other ones. So
All right, so another for quiet. Speaking of quiet, Lisa's gonna go quiet for a second. Boom. There we go. Next,
Yeah.
who's next? Alex, have you voted? No, Alex, international feature. Your options are
I know. I pulled it up.
okay.
I'll pick. I'll pick All Quiet, I guess, because it's the only one that I've seen, and I think it's good enough that it could win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Trying to see what Jeanette voted for. Anyway, Lauren, what's your pick?
All Quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. And Jeanette voted for. Where is? Oh, she didn't actually tell me. She didn't send me her pick for it.
Nice. We should pick for her.
Cheater.
We should pick for her. What do we think
should.
What do we think she's gonna vote
What would
for?
Jeanette want?
What would Jeanette want?
The Quiet Girl.
The quiet girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess she's a redhead,
Yeah,
right?
I think she'll win.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go for the quiet girl for Jeanette. Okay. Jeanette.
It's Tom Hanks.
It's Tom Hanks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, Ben, what is this? What are you showing? Is that the DVD
It's just
or
it's the
yeah,
Elvis 4K.
right? So I love that you own that.
I can't help it.
Still-
I got it's really Anna's. We got it for her birthday, but we watched
Good.
it a couple weeks ago.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
Right. Next up, we have documentary feature. Our
Okay.
options here are All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and another word. I can't
Navalny, I think.
No.
Thank you.
Navalny.
That's the one, Navalny. Now, did anyone see any of these?
I
I
did.
I saw Fire of Love.
Yeah, I
That's the
saw
one
it
I
as
saw.
well.
Yeah,
was
it was
that
boring. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
It was
It's
about
Although it is-
volcano
it is-
eruptions.
July.
What was that, Ben?
It was narrated by Miranda July.
Who's
like
Miranda
this.
July?
She's like a performance artist filmmaker, and she kind of
course she
sometimes
is.
talks like this. And she said these two volcanic scientists were in love.
she is
Narrated like that,
They were buried alive.
and they were buried. alive. That's the only one I saw too.
they are making a film, like a fictional film or like an adaptation. Searchlight Pictures is going to be doing
About
it.
them? About this-
Interesting.
Yeah, about
I'd
the-
rather
the
see
couple.
that. I would.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, like, what did you, Lauren / Ben, think of that movie?
yeah, it was hard for me to get through the whole thing. I just felt like they were doing the same thing over and over again, and it was like I didn't feel like they were like they kept telling me that they were doing these dangerous things, but it just didn't feel like I needed more, like, I don't know, tension or feeling or something. And I wanted to love it, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I
felt
didn't hate
similarly.
it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ben, what'd
yeah,
you
it
think?
was. I had a similar reaction to Lauren, where I thought it was like an interesting story, and I thought, some of the footage that they got of these volcanoes, like it was incredible to see,
Mhm.
and it was kind of just anchored by a voiceover that I felt like was kind of like, sometimes like shoehorning in sort of like a feeling that was maybe lacking from like what was there, like they needed
Yeah.
something to kind of bolster it, and
Yeah.
so it didn't like really like resonate with me that much. I just was like, wow, this is some nice footage of close-up footage of volcanoes, but
Mhm.
that it didn't really like stick with me very much.
Was it?
I've
all
heard,
Like, I
archival
wish
footage?
that they were there at
Yeah.
Mount St. Helens,
Mhm.
because they got some great footage, but from somebody else. And I mean, that was like, wow. I remember Mount St. Helens, and I just thought that was really a cool part of that movie, but it was just kind of like they got there afterward, and then they were just kind of sifting through everything, and their personalities just weren't that dynamic.
Yeah, well, I think that was the thing that lost it for me, was that it was sort of billed as a beautiful love story of volcano hunters.
Yes.
If that's what it's called. And I didn't get that. I didn't get what their relationship really was. Like they told me, but I didn't
Mhm.
really see it in the footage that they were showing me. And I could have done with maybe real-time interviews from now of people who knew them to give me that perspective. But it almost felt like the footage that these people shot themselves would have made for a more compelling film than them repurposing the footage that they captured, and just to say like they were in love with each other and volcanoes, and a volcano killed them, and also they saved people because of this reason. The end. And there's the movie. So yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Like, see it for cool volcano footage, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. And even though it's the only one that I've seen, I don't want to vote for it. That's where I stand. Although I don't know anything about any of these other movies, so I'm going to go for All That Breathes or All the Beauty and the Bloodshed.
I've heard that's excellent. I've heard
Really?
it's really, really good. Yeah, it's about Nan Golden. And it's made by oh God, Laura Poitras, is that her name?
Okay.
Yeah, Laura Poitras, she did a document. She's made a few documentaries. One of them was called Citizen 4 a few years ago about Edward Snowden, where she like went to his like hotel room and was talking to him when he was like caught up in his Edward Snowden stuff. But I haven't seen All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, but I've heard.
I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for it because I trust Anna and I like alliteration, and it reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. So
there you go.
That's why I'm picking it. Also, Vince, that's hilarious.
That's very funny.
That's brilliant. Anyway, Lauren, what are you voting for?
You know what? I'm going to go for A House Made of Splinters, just because that sounds interesting.
It does. I think of Splinter from Ninja Turtles and a whole house.
Yes,
made of
actually,
Splinter.
I do too.
Really good. Except I always confuse Splinter and Shredder because they're both S names and they're very different characters. But still, yeah. Ben, what are you voting for?
I think I'm going to go with Navalny.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to go with him. You know, it's I haven't seen it. I've talked to some people who have. I think it's like a pretty like heavy political documentary about this. He was like the head of like Russian opposition or something, and he was poisoned. I don't really know much about his story, but so I speak ignorantly. But I'm going to vote for Navalny for the win.
Nice, Lisa. Which one is speaking to you?
Because I'm going to assume I'm the only uterus holder right here in the room, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, because it sounds like my period. So, you're welcome.
I love that.
Who is it that Nan Golden is? She's like, I can't remember what family it is. That's another story I need to really learn more about, but I think that's a really, really good pick, Lisa. I think that's supposed to be like an excellent film.
I have I want to, I think it's the most intriguing title. I think, it makes me want to watch it, but I don't know. We'll see. Is it on, where can I watch it? I wonder.
Oh, it's I think it's probably rentable. It might end up on Crave if it's an HBO documentary, which I think it might be.
Okay.
It's the Sackler family, right? She's like fighting against the Sackler family, and they run like pharmaceutical. They're like a pharmaceutical family, and she's a photographer. And yeah, I got to see it, but I've just heard really good things.
I like the drama.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm in favor. And Alex, what are you voting for?
I will vote for Navalny. Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the political figure as the opposition, the official Russian opposition leader. So it'd be something that I'd be interested in seeing.
All right, well said. Let's go to animated feature. The options here: Turning Red, Canadian representation, we love it. The Sea Beast, don't know what that is. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I'm always here for a cat movie, and I've heard it's legitimately amazing.
It's really beautifully done. Yeah, like the animation, it almost looks like hand painted, even though it's CG. It's got a cool look to it.
See, I would just have no expectations for like the 17th sequel to Shrek.
Right,
it's true.
Right.
Yeah,
I heard it has a beautiful script in terms of like children dealing with anxiety, and like
yes, I've heard of that too.
is
Yeah.
within childhood, and I'm very intrigued by it.
It deals a lot with
totally plan to see
mortality
it.
for a kid's movie too. Like it's like steeped in mortality and death. It's just kind of weird for a Shrek
I
sequel
love that. Yeah,
spin-off. Yeah.
and it's about a cat, so how can I not?
Yeah,
Next,
you love cats.
yeah, I love cats. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And is that animated? I mean, I've only seen previews, but isn't it a hybrid situation?
It is, yeah. I
It
think
could
that they
be.
had to kind of make a case, maybe, but it did end up obviously qualifying. But it is predominantly like shot as a live action film, but then they did the animation for Marcel the Shell and her family and friends.
I feel like
Is,
that shouldn't
sorry.
count, but
I don't want to misgender Marcel. I believe Marcel's a he,
is Marcel
voiced by a she.
Or-
Yeah.
Yes.
Ew.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Did any of us see the movie? The movie I assume would let us know.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
I saw Marcel.
Yeah.
He was a YouTube shell. They
Oh,
made YouTube
I'm
videos of
familiar
him.
with
Remember those?
Marcel's
Yeah.
YouTube career. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just shocked that Marcel got a feature. There it is. And then Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which I'm voting for because, like, I want to win. So, there we go. But yeah, anyone not voting for Pinocchio?
I just want to make a case for Pinocchio
Okay.
that I think it's stop motion is
Yeah.
phenomenal. And
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
Alex, you have a problem with the frame rate, but I think there is a reason for it. And I'm sure if I saw Guillermo walking down Queen West one day in Toronto, I would stop him and he would have a reason for why he did that and made your time watching it a living
So
hell.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
I
'cause he
saw a
hates
tweet
me.
from Guillermo del Toro just a few hours ago where he tweeted, "Found my wallet."
I think
So he's found his wallet.
Yeah,
So I'm
good.
glad to-
That's
yeah.
And-
No.
I mean,
Red one.
Turning Red was great,
Um,
and I think like the producer for Turning Red, the way that she speaks about Turning Red is beautiful, and the work that the entire team put into it was amazing. But I don't think it has the legs to stand up against Pinocchio, unfortunately.
I will say
I
Jeanette
know,
voted
I
for
have-
Turning Red.
Who? What?
Jeanette
did?
voted for Turning Red.
I actually really, I would love for that film to win, for the big point that it was the first animated feature that I ever knew that brought up periods, and it made all these boys and men so uncomfortable that they had to tweet about it 24/7 and drive me nuts. And I think that is, says something. But I mean, I think that it was such a, I really loved the story of it, and just about changing, and it wasn't. Some people think it's all about periods, but it's not. It's about many different things.
It's about
and,
pandas.
It's about
It's about
pandas as
pandas.
well. Yes, red pandas. And so anyway, but I mean, I think Pinocchio is going to win, but Turning Red, I really love.
All right, so Lisa and Lauren have voted for Pinocchio. Ben?
Pinocchio.
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 And Alex, are you voting for Pinocchio, or are you going to shake things up?
I don't want to, but alas, I do want that Etsy shirt. And it is the only one that I've seen, so
You didn't
gotta
see
stick to your
Turning Red?
principles. No, I didn't see Turning Red. I don't
Oh.
think I saw Turning Red. I highly doubt I saw Turning Red.
You might like it.
Oh,
It has really good frame rate.
It's just consistent frame rate, like every
Yeah.
other film.
Consistent.
Yeah, it's smooth. It's smooth as all anything.
Smooth as
yeah.
silk. Well, I don't
Smooth
I
butter.
don't want too smooth. I don't want the
No,
soap opera
don't worry.
smooth.
It's not soap opera.
I don't
smooth.
want
It's not
60
soap opera
frames
smooth.
or 40 frames.
No,
or-
it's like it's a comfortable 24.
It's like
fine.
if
Yeah,
a car has
24.
too much suspension and like you can't feel it, it makes you
Yeah,
feel car
yeah,
sick. You
that's-
don't want it too smooth.
No,
It's got to
no.
be a little rough, but not
Yeah, I
too
want to
much.
feel a little
Yeah.
bit of that.
Yeah. So Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Alex, watch Turning Red. It takes place in Toronto. It's fun.
The street
Okay.
cars are so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a super clean version of Toronto. Really.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
So
that
clean.
that might actually that makes it more appealing because I don't like Toronto, but okay.
Yeah.
You can see
not?
them
It's the best city.
dismantling Honest Ed's in the background.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I wish you could. I don't think no, Honest Ed doesn't even make a small appearance in this movie. In that
No.
movie.
It should.
No.
You just see the Sand Tower, Spadina, and Queen. Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, you see Kensington very briefly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
concert at the Sky Dome?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it's
That's pretty cool.
It's at Rogers
Yeah.
Center. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, Lisa, the Sky Dome. We call it the Sky
Sorry,
Dome in
I
this,
know, but
in
like,
this house.
I don't want people who are not from Canada or Toronto thinking that the Sky Dome still exists. It still does. It's just named something different.
Yeah, I know it's annoying. Wait, Ben, did you see Turning Red?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
I picked a Turning Red shirt last year.
You did. You survived the Toronto.
I did. I
Yeah.
love that shirt.
Yeah.
I do too. I have that shirt as well.
Yeah,
It's a great
so do
shirt.
I. All three of us on the top row could have worn our shirts tonight.
Because
our
we
panda
should
shirts.
have.
I know. Next year.
Yeah, next year.
All right. Adapted screenplay. We've got All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun, and Women Talking. I'm voting for Women Talking because I want to win, and it's going to win. So,
Can I just rant for a second?
oh, do it.
Mhm.
Rant.
So the only reason Top Gun and Glass Onion are
Mhm.
in this category is not because it's based on a book or a play or any other source material. I mean, it is a source material, but from their first movies.
Mhm.
So rules for the history of time until the rules change will always be in the adapted category. And
Makes no
I think
sense.
that is bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Ugh.
Glass Onion shouldn't be an adapted screenplay nomination, in my opinion. It doesn't make any sense. Or Top Gun Maverick.
Well, I mean, like with Glass Onion, there are no, except Daniel Craig, there are no.
It's like a
other-
character. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
With
I
Top
agree.
Gun, there's a part of me that's like, kind of, because they use a lot of what Top Gun, the first one, had.
Mhm.
But still, it's
Mhm.
not based on a book or a play or an article or a poem or a song. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So, with that, I will go with Women Talking. It's an amazing book by Miriam Towes.
Mhm.
I'm like about to read it, and it's like acclaimed. Lots of Canadian representation, and Sarah Polley. Fun fact was an Anna Green Gables when she was a child in Canada for I think it was like a CBC show. So
What?
yeah,
She was in it? Wait,
she was
what?
Anne of Green Gables.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Look it up. Please look it up.
I
Fact check.
will. No. Because
Yeah.
the only Anne of Green Gables then was Megan
Wait,
Follows,
do you
so-
mean Anne of Avonlea, Lisa?
Maybe it was Anne of Avonlea.
It
Oh,
might be
okay.
Anne of Avonlea. I could be wrong. I
One
didn't
of the
grow up in Canada,
One of the Annes.
but she's
Anyway.
Oh,
she's
she
an
was in
important
Road to
Anne.
Avonlea. She was Road to Avonlea
Road
girl?
to Avonlea.
Road
That's
to Avonlea is about Anne of Green Gables?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Avonlea.
Anyway,
Oh.
Sarah Polley deserves it. She is just like Ben, and yeah, we need her to get that award ASAP.
Yeah.
Especially
Alex.
since she got
Oh, yeah.
snubbed. She got snubbed for directing.
She did, yeah.
Hmm.
I need to see it, but I would just in theory love for Sarah Polley to get nominated / win a directing Oscar or just win an Oscar. But like,
Yeah.
I guess technically if adapted screenplay wins, she will get an Oscar, but I'd rather it be for directing. Anyway. Alex.
I will pick All Quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Glass Onion and Maverick, and those I don't think, for reasons already stated and otherwise, deserve to win this for writing. And yeah,
All right. Ben?
Well, if you ask Anna, she would say that best adapted screenplay should go to Tar because it adapts the real life of Lydia Tarr.
Wait, you've said this
No.
multiple times now. There is no Lydia Tarr, right?
No, there is no.
No.
Lydia.
The reason I make this joke is that there's numerous people who saw Tar that believe that Lydia Tarr was like a real person.
That's
Yeah,
Because it
I
feels
Googled
so
it
lived
after.
in and real. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So it's kind of a fun.
Yeah,
fun
it's a
thing.
documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's between living talking,
Living
living and talking.
Living and talking.
I think it's between women talking and All Quiet. I think you guys are both like, I think that because All Quiet I don't want to completely rule out. Like, it's a movie that I didn't really think about much. Like, I hadn't seen it. It just wasn't on many people's radar. But then it like swept a bunch of BAFTAs, and then people were like, wait a minute, and then it got a bunch of Oscar nominations. And so I think that there's like a chance for All Quiet, but I think that this is where they're going to honor Sarah Polley and women talking.
Yeah.
So that's what I think they're going to go with.
All right,
Yeah.
Lauren.
I think I'm going to go with Women Talking because even though I haven't seen it, I've heard from all of you so many good things about it, and I just feel like it deserves something. And I've given something to All Quiet on the Western Front and Top Gun. Kind of want to see this living movie because it's written by a Japanese person, and I always support the Asians. So, but I mean, I'm giving it to Women Talking.
Yeah, and hopefully the Academy does too. Okay, now we're moving into the final 4 big categories. Ooh, what do you want to do first? Directing, actor, actress? We'll do Best Picture last. What are we feeling?
Let's do director.
Okay, let's do director. We've
Okay.
got Martin for Banshees of Inisherin, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere, Steven for The Fablemans, Todd for Tar, and Ruben for bestowing that god-awful movie, Triangle of Sadness.
I love
But
that.
how do you really feel?
I love that I know why you hate it so much. Like, I just know.
So few movies make me as angry as that movie made me. Yeah. So there we are. So anyway, I'm gonna go last again because I want to hear what all of you have to say. Alex, you go first. Who's your director?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's right.
So, on the subject, which one that I would want to win, I'm kind of conflicted between Banshees and Fablemans.
Okay.
I think I edge towards Fablemans. I think, yeah, I think that movie just kind of came together. There's a cohesiveness to that film where all the elements kind of came together for me.
Cohesion, yeah.
Yeah, what did I say? Cohesiveness. That's the same thing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm agreeing. I'm saying there's a cohesion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But then on the subject of which one I suspect is most likely to win, maybe Tar. Although I wish I could hear what Ben has to say on that subject, / everybody else to hear to see. Yeah, I wish I wasn't going first, but
No,
since I am,
yeah.
I will pick whatever. You know what? I'll do the Fablemans. I don't think it's gonna win, but I'll pick the Fablemans.
Okay. Nice. Well done. Lisa.
I wouldn't be mad if Banshees won. But I really want Everything Everywhere All at Once to win. The Daniels slayed it. I think it was like, from a director's stance, it really, you can see the craft and the time it takes as a director for this type of script to like care for the actors and make sure that the actors know what's going on and like direct them, like do their job. Yeah, I think it was a director master class. And I think it would have been different if it was just one of the Daniels. And so I think both of the Daniels deserve to win. I feel just some shade to you, Alex. I think The Fablemans is only in there because Steven Spielberg is Steven Spielberg. I haven't seen it. I will see it, and I will get back to you.
Yeah. Well, I think this is much like the discussion we've had for other categories, if he wins, it's a win for Steven versus his work on this specific thing. And I do think that there would be something nice about him getting a Best Director Oscar for the movie that is like the most personal film that he's done. So for
Are you
that,
saying
like
Jurassic Park is not his most personal film?
shockingly, no. I know, right? Well, maybe it was, but no, not
At the
not
time,
anymore.
yeah. It's
I have
been
so much
dethroned.
to say about this. I'm going like,
Oh no, okay. Well, Ben's gonna go last. Ben's gonna go last in
Okay.
this discussion. But see, I'm torn because I feel traditionally, at least recently, directing and Best Picture is always split between two movies that are viable for Best Picture, and so statistically, I almost want to vote for Everything Everywhere All at Once or Banshees for both of them, so that I'll get at least 1 point. But I think I'm going to give it to Everything Everywhere All at Once just because of how unique it is, and it is so much just an auteur vision of those two collectively coming together. So there we are. Oh, I agree with what Anna's saying though about Fabelmans with the divorce scene. So good.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Lauren, who's your director?
I think that there were a lot of good directors here. But I'm going with I feel like there's going to be a split for the top two categories between Everything Everywhere All at Once and The Fablemans. Now, my question is, which one do I choose for directing? Um, I think that Lisa brought up some great points about the Daniels and how they really directed the hell out of that film. And that, I mean, from everything that I heard from the cast, they were like so hands-on and so like they complemented each other, where one was good at this, the other was good at that, and they could play off of each other that way. So I think I'm going to give it to Everything Everywhere All at Once, because I feel like the Fablemans, Steven Spielberg's already won, like, I don't know,
Right.
even know how many. And I know this is a very personal movie to him, but I don't know. I just think that Everything Everywhere All at Once deserves it, at least.
Well done. All right, Ben, say your piece.
okay. So first of all, I want to make sure I'm not echoing for anybody because my headphones just died and I don't have another.
Oh
pair.
no, you
You're fine,
sound
you're
great.
fine.
You sound
Okay,
great.
fantastic. So I agree with you guys that like I think that there's a lot of really good contenders. Like I think if we talk about Todd Field and Tar, I think that he talked a lot about directing Tar like a piece of music. There was a lot of musicality going on in terms of the rhythm of that film, the flow of the dialogue. It takes a lot of really precise control to kind of hold an audience in a certain place and like take them into a very different place, like where that film arrives. I love the scene when she goes back to her childhood like bedroom and then like cries watching the tape, and then her brother's like, "Hi, Linda." Like it's such a good scene. And I think that movie has a lot of ambiguity that's really exciting to me. That like I love that you can read that movie in a lot of different ways, and a lot of people see it as like a total almost damnation for that character where she ends up, whereas some people I think can read it as like, she's dropping the pretension and the ego that kind of was the veneer of her personality, and she now has to engage with the music as it is. I think it's kind of brilliant.
I wish you were on that show.
Yes.
When we discussed the movie, because I kind of feel like, yeah.
I'm gonna go listen to the Tar episode because I'm so curious what you guys said.
It's quite brutal.
That's good. That's great. I love coming in and being like, Lydia, I've forgiven Lydia Tar. I know that she's made some transgressions, but I forgive her. I think Martin McDonough did an amazing job with Banshees. He's also nominated, right? Yes,
Yeah.
Banshees. That's another one that just tonally is a tightrope to walk. It's a real balancing act, and I think that movie resonated with a lot of people. I think it's like a really brutally sad movie while also being very, very funny. And it's hard to kind of walk that comedic and dramatic line. I think the Daniels also do it. And I actually think that the Daniels are probably going to take the directing Oscar, just because I think that that movie, they've kind of, you know, they made a couple other films. Well, they made Swiss Army Man together, and then one of the Daniels made another film on his own. But I just think that like people will see the kind of like inventiveness of that film and how sort of exciting and original and unique it is. And I think that that's a way that they're really one of the ways that they're gonna really reward it. But I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna say that the Daniels are winning, but I gotta talk about my boy Steven for a second here. I gotta bring up the Fabelmans because you would expect that Steven Spielberg has won like swaths of Oscars, and he really hasn't. He's won 2 directing Oscars his entire career. One for Schindler's List, and the other for Saving Private Ryan. And I think only Schindler's List is his only Best Picture win, I think. And so what I loved about The Fabelmans was that, you know, you kind of expect, because with Spielberg, you get this kind of sentimentality and you get this, you know, I think sometimes people feel like, you know, that his films are a little bit treacly and a little bit like just overly sentimental. And I think what's amazing about The Fabelmans is that it's definitely his flavor of film. It feels very Spielbergy. It's very wide-eyed and kind of, you know, and I think people thought it was just going to be about like the magic of movies, but it's such to me, it's like he's pointing the camera right at himself into like the raw wound that is him. And that raw wound is his parents, and realizing as a child that your parents, you know, are flawed, and realizing that you, as you know, someone who has found this form of self-expression through filmmaking, what that's really about is that it's about control, and it's about him trying to control and take hold of a narrative in his life that is impossible for anyone to control, you know, except his parents. And so when you watch any Spielberg movie post Fabelmans, it's almost like he unlocked like a door or something. Like I've rewatched a couple of the Indiana Jones films. I've rewatched I think Jurassic Park, like any of these big blockbusters, you'll see things in it. You know, you'll look at the horizon line, you know, like that they talk about in the Fabelmans. I think that last shot is genius. I just think that like, I think he would be so deserving of a Best Director win for this. And it's not just because it's like, we love Steven Spielberg. I think that it would reflect, this is, you know, someone who has really shaped American Hollywood movie making, you know, for several decades now. And this is him looking at it like his own sort of life and his own sense of artistic expression in a very raw and very real way. And so I would love to see it happen. I know he won. Did he win? No, he didn't win maybe for the Golden Globe. I think the Fabelmans won Best Drama or something. But
did it?
I think it did at the Golden Globes. Yeah, but who knows about the Globes now, because they're I don't know, but
they're on Tuesdays. How have they fallen?
Yeah, it's on a Tuesday. You know, the Hollywood Foreign Press is a whole thing. But anyway, I think that there's real brilliance, I think, in that movie. That scene where he sees himself directing his own like kind of like parental like argument happening in that fallout, and he like sees in the mirror that like he's got a camera, you know. I don't know. I'm ranting now, but I think he did a great job with that.
Ben, you make me want to watch The Fabelmans.
Yeah, you should totally check it out.
You should definitely watch.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's a movie.
Yeah, it's not just a movie about like, oh, movies are magic and great. Like it is a raw portrait of this guy, and looking at like really like his own sort of fallibility, his parents' fallibility. It's just I was like really kind of shaken by it in a way that I don't expect from Spielberg. I always expect Spielberg to kind of mostly feel like sort of like a hug or something, and you know, because I'm just so comforted by his movies generally, and this was in some ways very uncomfortable, and that's what's kind of great about it.
Was it more uncomfortable than Big? The big friendly giant guy, Biff.
Oh, the BFG.
Mark Rylance says the big friendly giant is uncomfortable in a different way. But so it's hard to compare.
Understood.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was Spielberg's masterpiece. Honestly, anything after that, just you can't beat farting corgis. You just can't. There it is.
Iconic.
There it is. Yeah.
All that said, yeah, Daniels are my pick for the win. I think they're gonna win the Oscar.
Good call. I can't remember my
That's
thoughts.
just
Well,
comment.
I can remember my thoughts on the Fableman, but I won't. No, I won't get into it now. But just like, why did the movie end that? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, moving on. Best actress. Is anyone not voting for Michelle Yeoh? Anyway,
Wait, what did Jeanette vote for?
Oh, Jeanette voted for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yep. So best actress, we have Kate Blanchett, Anna de Armas in Blonde, Andrea Riseborough in To Leslie, Michelle Williams in The Fableman, and Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. The only one I have not seen is Blonde. To Leslie, I don't think she deserves to win, but I do think the nomination was merited. So, like, good for you, Andrea. Good movie. Well done. But yeah, no, I'm giving it to Michelle for all the reasons that we discussed yesterday and that I said yesterday. And for my personal preference, which I've kind of alluded to for other categories, I like to see things win that exhibit talent and skill, but also like a little sprinkling of something extra. So in the case of her, just the extra mile that she had to go to play all the alternate versions of Evelyn, plus the fact that she did like all the physical stuff, like all the martial arts that she had to do, just everything in that role. She did so much. She served so much in it, which is like, it's why I wanted Ariana to win last year. And I felt that she deserved to win because it was like acting, singing, dancing, all of it. Loved it, but that's last year's discussion. So yeah, Michelle, she's my person. Lauren, who are you voting for?
Yeah, Michelle. I mean, because I also just feel like usually she plays like this kind of really reserved person, or like emotionally, and she was so like into the like terror of everything that was going on, and I just thought she did such a great job. But just like, again, the two scenes in which I think this film is about, and that's both scenes of them at the car, and the way that she did both of those scenes was just so amazing to me. And I just, yeah, I love her. I want to see more Asian Americans win in the bigger categories. So Michelle Yeoh all the way.
Nice. Ben?
Michelle Yeoh has the momentum for sure, and she's amazing. I mean, we all love Michelle Yeoh. Everybody loves Michelle Yeoh.
Loves Michelle Yeoh.
She's incredibly talented. She's wickedly talented, and she should. I think that also there's never been an Asian American actress that's won Best Actress. Is that correct?
Correct. We fact checked that last night.
Fact checked this. It was all white passing women.
Right. Correct. Okay. So there was yes. And so I think she's gonna pull it off, but put me down for Lydia Tarr herself. I think it's her best performance. I think that it's a performance that's
what
I think
you talking about.
Did you not see The House with a Clock in Its Walls?
Have you not seen The Aviator?
Have you not seen The Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I've seen. Look, I just think that she made you believe that Lydia Tarr is real, and
she didn't make me believe that.
I think that her. I don't know. I think that she, in order to take a character, that character from the point A to point B that she does, I think that it's incredibly funny performance. That's not. It's such a weird movie because you don't know that it's funny for like a little while.
The accordion.
Like, this movie's really funny.
Yeah.
I just feel like I just want to cheerlead for Lydia Tarr a little bit. I don't really think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna put me down for it anyway. Why not?
Okay.
Let's get it. If we all said Michelle Yeoh, it's not as exciting.
It's true. Okay, Lydia Tarr.
Lydia Tarr. Put me down for Lydia Tarr as Best Actress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Ben, you're wild. You are wild with your predictions. No, I agree with Lauren, Michelle all the way. We need Michelle to win. For this timeline in this multiverse, we need Michelle
Yes.
to win. Yeah,
That's right.
it.
I would give you a high five right now.
High five.
There we go.
High five.
All right, Alex, I'm counting on you to shake things up and like vote for Anna de Armas.
No, I haven't seen that movie. No.
He was great in Blonde, according to Ariana DeBose.
Yes, and the girl, she was great in Blonde.
Yeah, no, the 3 movies that I've seen, I actually really enjoyed the performances of everybody on this list, like Michelle Williams, Michelle Yeoh, and Kate Blanchett. I would like similar-ish to Ben. Like I think Michelle Yeoh is gonna win from this list, so that's what my prediction will be. But I do actually, my runner-up would be Kate Blanchett, and I might even dare say that I could be convinced to pick her as my favorite from this list. Just specifically for what she did with that role, and she didn't make me believe Lydia Tarr was real, but she made me believe that she was like, she did make me believe that she was a very, a highly competent composer and musician. And like, I believed all that stuff, even though like, I don't know anything about Kate Blanchett. I don't know if she plays, I don't know, anything like that, but she made me believe that she did.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, yeah.
Are you saying that you don't believe that Michelle Yeoh could run a laundromat?
Well, no, if anything, I'm saying making me believe that you can run a laundromat is less interesting to me than making me believe that you're a competent, like a great composer. But that's me.
Well, did you believe that whale was a great composer?
No.
Oh my God.
No, but I believe in separating the art from the other art. So, but amongst other things, I do want to do like a somewhat shout out that for the daughter in The Whale. She wouldn't be a leading.
Oh yeah.
I don't think she'd be a leading role.
No, she'd be supporting, but yeah.
Yeah, but I thought she was one of the best. Like I thought she did a great job in that role, and I wished I would have seen her nominated for something.
Yeah, she's got her whole life ahead of her.
Yeah, that's true.
27.
So
I don't know.
I don't want to go too on a tangent. My thing with her and the whale, I was telling Matt, I was like, Matt, she's Satan in this movie.
Oh
He's
yeah,
the literal devil.
Yeah,
and Matt was texting me. Just like, but I think that I feel like that role would have been strengthened, and I don't think it's her fault. But I think that if they had reined her in and made her more cutting and quieter and meaner that way, where it's almost more reserved because she's been harboring this anger towards her dad for so many years. She's directed like Aronofsky directs that whole movie, kind of just so big and blunt, and so I feel like from that performance I would have loved it. Like I think I would have felt it more if she was a little bit more like resentful, more than like screaming at him. She's so mean.
I feel like the bigness and the screaming is very age appropriate to that character's age and also maturity level, and just it felt right for where she was. And even though she is like a Satan and she's literally evil, as the mom points out, yeah, I felt that it felt appropriate.
She would like win the Tony for it if it was a stage version.
But that's a problem, though. I think, right?
I know,
this is the movie.
Yeah,
no, but like I don't know. I don't feel like it veered too much to being too big for film. Like it felt
interesting. Okay,
it felt appropriately big for just an annoying teenager who was lashing out in all the worst ways possible. Because I think
they
Sadie
have
is
a really long career, though. Like I think Alex, like and Lisa, all of you are right. Very talented.
Oh yeah, like I said during the Whale show, I think she's my favorite kid on Stranger Things that like I want to see more things from going forward. So yeah, Sadie. Well, not nominated this year, but one day, one day, hopefully before 11. So there we go. Okay, actor in a leading role. This is where it gets spicy. We have Bill Nye, the science guy, in Living.
Why are you stealing Vince's terrible joke, Matt?
Because it was good, and now it's mine. Paul Mescal in After Sun. Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Fraser, not Frasier, just FYI. Colin Farrell in Banshees and Austin Butler in Elvis. I've grappled with this for so long. between
Mhm.
Austin and Brandon. And maybe just to shake things up, maybe it's because who I would vote for by the criteria I've mentioned. I'm giving my vote to Austin on this. Yeah.
Oh
Interesting.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's the same thing. It's the
Oh
same. It's my same
my
Michelle Yeoh.
God.
My same Michelle Yeoh approach. The vulnerability and the like acting was there, plus all the extra crap that he did on top of it, just technically speaking, with the music and playing multiple ages, and like it's all there. Plus to play Elvis, like I know we said during it was during the Whale show, like so many Elvis impersonators. Yes, it's an easy enough thing to do, but I think to pull it off in the way that Austin did is what gives him the edge for me. It's like we said during the Elvis show, there are certain people like Elvis and like Marilyn Monroe that I feel are so difficult to capture effectively. And I still don't think anyone's done Marilyn properly. But Elvis, he was Elvis. And as I said before, I don't think he'll do anything else in his career that's Oscar worthy. I'm ready for him to prove me wrong, but he's always going to be Elvis. His voice is stuck there forever now. So he ruined his voice for it. Give him the Oscar. There it is. Yeah. Lisa, who are you voting for?
It's not for me. Everyone knows how I feel about the Elvis movie.
Yeah.
I think Austin was fine. He was a fine Elvis, but Whale,
like it.
come on, Brendan Fraser's comeback. He deserves it. This multiverse needs Brendan Fraser to win.
Also, Vince brings up a good point that Austin didn't have the courage to play Elvis.
Yeah, he didn't have the courage to put on the fat suit in the limo. Like he needed the fat suit in the limo. That was an inaccurate historical thing that
Mhm.
they oversaw.
I mean, he was drinking ice cream to try to actually gain the weight.
Just put on the fat suit. You're playing Elvis. You are playing Elvis in the 40s.
This is a different Lisa than the Lisa I know because we talked about fat suits on the Elvis episode. I was there.
Yes.
And you didn't like fat suits, and I remember this.
Yes,
This is a
I
different
agree.
Lisa.
I still respect that Lisa and that Lisa's thoughts. But
Oh my God.
you are going to do everything in your power to look and sound and just be like Elvis. When he hits 40, he is a fat man. And if you can't put on the weight, then you have to do what you've been doing for the rest of the movie. Put on the fat suit. Why are you only going to put it on during the at the very end? That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I'm very.
But I do feel like this is more a Baz thing than an Austin thing. Unless Austin has said I didn't want to wear the fat suit, in which case I would be on board with you, Lisa. I feel that this is more a directorial choice than an Austin
I think it
choice.
hinders the okay, like it's a very long movie, and the scene that I needed him in the fat suit is
Right.
like only 5 minutes at length, but it is a very important time in Elvis's life for him to look like that if you're going to retell the story. And it's just the same thing that you feel about Marilyn Monroe, Matt. Like if you are like an accurate depiction, he was doing a very good job. And then that scene where he is supposed to be fat, it just, I don't know. It took away a lot.
I agree with Vince. That's why Baz didn't get the nomination.
Because he didn't put it in the fat
Also,
suit.
this is unrelated, but Vince has been
I'm glad you
drinking.
put it on it because this was cracking me up. And I was like, I hope that
This
shows.
cracks me up.
Oh, no, but honestly, like, okay, like aside the whole Austin stuff, Brendan's commitment to that role, a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, it must have been an easy role. Like he was sitting down for a lot of it. He, you know, it happens in one place. It's very simple because it's just over a week of this man's life. But it takes so much for an actor to get into that focused space for a character and in a very dark place. Like he is a depressed character. He's like, there's such a separation from him and his daughter, him and his ex-wife, his lover passed away, his relationship to his sister. There's so many things that Brendan Fraser really brought to the role to show these relationships in such a beautiful way that I don't think another actor would have done in such a skilled way that he presented.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think it was such a beautiful movie, and it's not going to win for any other category because of the lack of visual effects. It is very much of a play-esque movie, theater movie, but no, he just deserves it so much. Hashtag Brendan Fraser.
Hashtag Renaissance. We love the Renaissance.
Renaissance. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying. And in my heart, I think he will win. And I'll be very happy when he does. But also Austin. I feel like Austin could win just as easily as him. So I don't know.
Oh,
Lauren, who are you voting for?
I mean, Lisa said everything that I wanted to say about Brendan Fraser, so I think he should win. I think he will win. And I mean, I don't know. Austin Butler has a really good chance, but if I were just to go for pure performance, Brendan Fraser, and again, yeah, The Whale is not going to win a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
I think that this is a good place to win something.
Well said. Well, yeah, it is very much the Brendan movie. Well, I say that. I think it's the ensemble movie because I feel I think the whole cast is really solid in that movie.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Oh, Alex, what do you think? I saw you look up. I know what that means when you look up.
It means pick me. I have something to say.
Yeah. What do you have to say?
No, like so that was just I thought that the Mormon kid, like, I mean, that's more of like a character rather than the actor. I think the character was kind of like I think I appreciate the character's existence and how that character progressed the narrative and whatnot. But compared, like, I think that's like, if there has to be a weak link or whatever, that would be my weak link in that character / casting. But yeah, otherwise, my thing is I'll pick The Whale. I'll pick Brendan Fraser. I've always said Fraser.
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 No, it rhymes with
Fraser.
razor.
Fraser.
Fraser.
Yeah.
Like a Z/Z. That's how we
Yeah.
pronounce it. Fraser.
So I'll pick him, but personally, I don't like, and I've only seen The Whale and Banshees on this list. But yeah, I don't feel like either. Like, I love Colin Farrell, but I don't think Colin Farrell did anything phenomenal that I haven't seen before in Banshees. Actually, I'll change that. The way, like, Colin Farrell's meekness, if you will, I don't think I've seen in another movie. Not to say that he hasn't done that, but I haven't seen him in another film do it quite like that. So, but what he did with that meekness, what was the name they had for him? Like, it wasn't Simple. It was or was it Simple?
I think it was Simple. You're too simple.
Yeah, So that,
I thought it was Doll. Well,
Doll was a word. Doll. There was another thing. It was like the doll, and there was like, am I the village? I don't know if it was the village idiot. There were all kinds of little things like that. But that wasn't enough for me to be like, oh my god, wow, this is exceptional. Similarly to me, Brendan Fraser, also, to me personally, kind of like what you were saying, Lisa, like you were saying, I know people have said it, this is easy, this is that. I'm not going around saying this is easy. I just saw the movie today, so I also haven't processed it.
That's a big movie to process.
Yeah. Like, I haven't, I saw it. I didn't do anything today. I just I slept in, and then I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then immediately after The Whale. And so I haven't processed either of those films fully. But just where I am now, I didn't hate anything that Brendan Fraser did, but I also didn't feel personally blown away by the performance, and I kind of don't feel blown away by anybody on this list, but that's because I also only seen two of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't know if there are other like male performances that I've seen. I don't know if they qualify technically as leading roles. Like, for example, the father in Fabelmans might have, like, his is a performance that
I think he should have been nominated for supporting over Uncle whatever his name was.
I love I like the Uncle too, though.
Yes, Uncle Judd Hirsch.
Judd
exactly.
Hirsch, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of my feeling. But I'll vote for Brendan.
All right, Ben.
I really hope that I didn't like scare. I'm sure Jeanette had other things, and I hope I wasn't like too hard on it. I personally find The Whale like a deeply like miscalibrated movie. Like I don't think it works at all.
Wow.
I think that
Me and Lauren are shocked.
Well, were you
This is like a
were you
wow.
on for the discussion, Ben?
No,
What's
we didn't
that?
have Ben. We didn't have Ben for the whale
I
show.
missed. Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't there for it. I
I was
saw
gonna
it.
say
At
I would have
TIFF,
wanted
and-
to rewatch to see what you thought. But yeah.
yeah, I saw it at TIFF, and there were people, I mean, really bawling and really moved by it. And I don't want to diminish that. Like, I think if someone has a real experience with it, I think any true feeling is valid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, who am I to say that it's not moving just because it didn't move me? But what I found with that film was that Aronofsky, who I usually really admire for his big swings, like I love The Fountain, which isn't a hugely popular movie. I really like The Wrestler a lot. I like parts of Black Swan. I mean, he's a fascinating guy, and that he's like, he takes these huge swings. And I think The Whale, for me, I felt like what it came off across as, and I know we're talking about performance here, so I'll try to really stick to Brennan in a second, but it felt like he didn't trust me as a viewer to see the character of Charlie with the humanity that he keeps saying, like, look, see the humanity in this man, see it. He believes in the good of all people, even the people that mistreat him and the people who disappointed him. And to me, I felt like Brendan Fraser did that in the performance alone. Like I was like, I see that in Charlie. I thought that the fact that he shot it in 1:33 in the Academy ratio, I thought was a little bit cruel. I felt like what it does is, you know, and yes, this is a character who is, the way that I put it is that I think there's fascinating kind of dramatic tension in the fact that he is a character that so desperately wants to disappear, but is trapped in this enormous body that he can't, you know, that he's on the verge of death. And it's like this kind of awful juxtaposition. And I think Brendan Fraser in the role is about as good as, I think he's as good as like anyone could do with that role. But I struggle in the way that, that the film is constructed, and that I felt often that he kept kind of like the swelling of the score and the gloominess of the cinematography and the way that he would kind of shoot the binge eating. Like I felt like he was like sometimes kind of gawking at this character in a way that he was at the same time saying, but look, don't you see, like he's a person just like us. And I think that his intentions were there. I just felt to me that it didn't succeed. And so I don't think I'm completely alone in that. Like, I think that that's where it's going to be tricky with the best actor. Well, Anna's going to say I'm right because, you know, she loves me.
History.
I think that when it comes to this, yeah. See, the thing with Brendan Fraser is that it's like Michelle Yeoh. We love Brendan Fraser. We all love Brendan Fraser. He's done incredible work throughout his career.
George of the Jungle.
Yeah, George of the Jungle.
Yes, he's also, you know, he's someone who has been feeling real palpable hurt and pain with what he went through in the industry. And I think that we want to support Brendan Fraser because, you know, he's having this, I almost don't want to call it a comeback because like I watched the show The Affair on Showtime. I watched all 5 seasons of that. In season 3 of The Affair, Brendan Fraser shows up and he's this like terrifying prison guard, and you're scared of Brendan Fraser. I've never been scared of Brendan Fraser before.
I don't want to be scared of Brendan Fraser.
He did, you know, that show is kind of a mess, but like he did really good work on it. He's been working on television, you know, but I think that what we have with him in The Whale is this kind of incredible comeback narrative where it's like we can really showcase him, we can celebrate him and say, we missed you, Brendan Fraser, you are deserving of recognition and honor. And so that's why, you know, I think that he is, you know, a true front runner. At the same time, I think that movie is a little bit thorny. I think some people responded very deeply to it and really felt for it, and then I think for other people I think that it might have had an adverse effect. And so I don't know. I feel like in some ways that's why if it's between Brendan Fraser and Austin, that Austin may have the edge, because I think that with the things that you kind of talked about, Matt, And also, I don't want to rule out Colin Farrell either. I think that he is doing stuff in that movie we've never really seen him do, in being very meek, like you said, Alex, and kind of like very vulnerable. And he gives a really heartbreaking and very funny performance. But I think it's between Austin and Brendan, and I think I'm going to give the edge to Austin just because I don't know how much. It's hard for me to gauge how much love kind of universally there is for the whale. And if Brendan wins the award, I think that it is for some people that performance, but I think a lot of it is kind of like a cumulative award of like, we've missed you, welcome back. Let's like keep you working and
that just seems to be a theme for a lot of potential winners this year.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Ben, I agree with you in terms of like how other people might respond to it, especially in the Academy, and like Austin might have that advantage because of just the feeling of uncomfortability that they might have walked away from the whale. But I think that is why not only the movie is so moving and why I enjoyed it so much. I'm not going to speak for Lauren, but like it is not a comfortable role to watch. It's not a comfortable role to play. I'm sure if you had like, an actor talking to an actor, those interviews where like Austin and Brendan sat down and they talked.
I watched that video last night.
Did they? Is there an actual thing?
It's those two. There's others like
Oh, it's like a round table.
Yeah,
he's
there, and Colin Farrell and Adam Sandler for some reason.
Interesting.
Right.
Well, why I bring something like that up is like their experiences were probably very different, right? Like I feel like Austin might have really enjoyed playing like Elvis and probably found a lot of joy playing that character, and Brendan might have had to work harder to find that joy because of the uncomfortability that he's seeing, and also the uncomfortability that I'm sure him and Darren spoke about of like how the audience is going to perceive this film and this character itself. And I will the Academy is wild. Like they will pull things out of their back pocket for no reason whatsoever. But it would be almost a disservice to this character and to Brendan Fraser's work, not about his braveness of playing this role, but the simple fact that he took a really complicated character and presented it in the way that he did. Almost like Tar, almost like Lydia Tar. Lydia Tar is like such a complicated character, and Cate Blanchett like brought the humanity to her. But yeah, I want to talk to you more about like Darren's objective and like the way that he showed Charlie, because I think that is where a lot of like the discomfort comes from me as the viewer, and not so much like of what Brendan's doing.
Right.
And I think it's an important conversation to have, and I don't know if the Academy has these conversations with themselves or with each other when voting, because it is a different. It's a difference. There's a very clear line of what's directing and what's the acting, and yeah.
I think so many of the questionable elements of the movie more so pertain to Darren versus Brendan. I think with the material and the circumstances of the production and everything, Brendan did as good and beautiful a job as he could, and so many of the questionable things that relate to the film are outside of what he had within his control. I think what he was able to do within his control, like just in terms of having that performance, I think he did a beautiful job. I think he did as good a job as anyone could do. And that's not to say that like he did a mediocre job, because I feel like when you say he did as good as he could have done, it sounds like it diminishes the performance. But no, I think he did absolutely everything he could to make it an endearing, captivating performance. And I agree with the fact that he's pretty well the only major like nomination for this movie, minus Han Chow as well, which is well deserved. But I
Yeah.
agree that
Yeah.
it doesn't deserve a Best Picture nomination, but it deserves the acting nomination for him and his very specific isolated work and his contribution to the movie.
Yeah, I totally agree, Matt, that like my major issues with The Whale, they don't stem from Brendan Fraser whatsoever. Like I think that and when you say that he's as good as someone can be, I totally agree. Where to me it's more in the directing. In some ways it's more in the writing. Like I feel like the character also is some ways is almost on the line of purely allegorical, where he's almost this martyr for everyone around him. And I think that it's to the credit of Brendan Fraser that he imbues him with the humanity that we're told constantly by Darren Aronofsky is here. See it. And I see it because of Brendan Fraser in the movie.
yeah.
So yeah.
And I even remember I had so many issues with the character as written and choices that he was making. And I distinctly remember saying during the show last week, why is he obsessed with this whale essay? It's not that good. And I stand by that. Like little
Daughter.
I don't care if it's his daughter or not. He seems to love this essay, minus the fact that it's his daughter. It seems like he objectively just thinks it's a well-written essay.
Well, he thinks it's an
it's
honest
not.
and insightful essay. He doesn't think it's like a master class of prose.
He
Like,
seems to
he's
think it is.
No, he doesn't. He literally in the movie says just be fucking honest. That's the whole thing he
Don't
cares
swear on my show.
Well, he swore. I'm just quoting the gosh darn movie.
Yeah, no, but I think he conflates something being a beautiful work of prose with being honest. I think his whole thing is like
I think
honesty is the thing, is the secret ingredient that makes a piece of writing worthwhile. And like, yeah, and he even taps into that when he says, "Oh, the perspective you're giving me right now is interesting. Why don't you write that for your teacher?" When she says, "You guys think I didn't read the book just because I don't like it. I don't like it for this reason, this reason, this reason."
Yeah.
And yeah, I think his whole perspective is I want honesty. And to me, that's
I agree. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. We agree. Okay. Best picture. Here we go.
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
We've got All's Quiet, Avatar, Banshees, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, Fablemans, The Lydia Tarr Story, Top Gun, Women Talking, and I'm just going to erase Triangle of Sadness.
Oh,
And if any of you vote for it, it's not counting. And you lose a point. So I still think like there's such a running thing statistically of directing and Best Picture being two different categories. And by that logic, since I voted for Daniels for directing, I feel that I should be voting for Banshees for Best Picture. And I would be happy if it won Best Picture. But I think you only get a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once, like once every 10 to 20 years.
Right.
Something that's that unique and different and heartfelt. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to win both directing and Best Picture, but I'm going to vote for it anyway. So there we go. Done. It's in ink. Lauren, what's your vote?
Well, I'm having a hard time between the Fablemans and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Because in my heart of hearts, I want Everything Everywhere All at Once to win. But I just feel like they're going to split the category.
Yeah.
And that the Fablemans will win Best Picture just because it's like a kind of a, even though there's a lot of tragic things that happen, it is like a kind of a feel-good movie at the, especially at the end when he meets John Ford and
the greatest filmmaker of all time.
The greatest filmmaker of all time. So I don't know. I'm going to say the Fablemans are going to win Best Picture just because they do that a lot.
Well said. Okay, Lisa, what do you think?
I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win because I feel like I'm going to be wrong with my director choice for the Daniels. I think Steven will probably win, but I really want the Daniels to win. And I think in terms, I haven't seen the Fablemans, but from my viewing of Everything Everywhere All at Once 2 times, it's just an impactful movie all around, and it's nothing like we've seen in a while. But I just want to note that I want women talking, but I think everything is gonna win. Women talking should win. And also an honorable mention for Banshees, because that's stuck with me after I guess like 4 weeks since I've watched it, and I still keep thinking about it till this day. And that doesn't normally happen for such like a not a meek movie and a mild movie, but like for a movie that's not anything like Everything or even like Top Gun, right? But yeah, I think Everything's gonna bring the punch. So we'll see.
Alex.
Yeah. I'll say that I think Everything Everywhere All at Once will win. And it's a movie that I definitely want to rewatch again at least one more time. And like I said, I've already disclaimed that it's still being processed. But so like in that context, I'm not 100% aligned with that choice. Like I'm not 100% like I think it totally deserves the win. I do agree it's a very impactful movie. Personally, I think the theme or what I'm left with in Everything Everywhere All at Once isn't like, not that this is necessarily super important, but it's not original. Like to me, what I took away from the movie is this like the importance of human connection and relationships, and sort of when in an uncaring, unfeeling universe, the one thing that matters is love, or unconditional love, or connection with other beings. And I think that's a great message and a very impactful one, and it really touched me when I watched it. But at the same time, I didn't think like it's certainly not a message that hasn't been communicated really effectively before. And similarly, I think the premise of the movie is pretty original, but at the same time, it's also like have seen recently, like what's that one with Ryan Reynolds when he's in the future and he comes back to save his like kid self. There's a Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, the kid with Bruce Willis.
No, that's That's
No.
Looper. That's another one. But that's the thing. Like in the last like 5-10 years, like we've had a decent amount of movies that like deal with multiverse or time jumps or whatever. So like those are the things that like kind of conflict me. Those are the things that kind of make me feel like, but they're also separate from the way I actually experienced the movie. And the way I experienced the movie, very impactful. I enjoyed a lot, like almost everything about it. And then the only thing that, like at the end, I was just kind of like, very touching, but also I didn't feel, in some ways, like I saw something notable or new that I wish I did. And then Banshees is like the runner-up from this list. Although if I think to myself, would I want Banshees to win Best Picture? Like, is it a prototypical Best Picture movie in my mind? My answer is no. Like Banshees to me, kind of like what you were saying, Lisa, like but not even like there is like it isn't a big movie. Like it's mild in that sense. It's not like this, but it's like, it's a great movie. I really love it. And I look forward to watching that one many, many times. But it doesn't, for some reason, like it just doesn't seem prototypically Best Picture stuff. So
all right, Ben.
What's kind of weird is that this is such a weird take, but Everything Everywhere All at Once in some ways reminds me a little bit, not in terms of like tone or filmmaking at all, but thematically reminds me of a little bit of the Tree of Life, where you have like this kind of micro and macro thing happening, where it's about kind of the nature of the universe, but like rooted in a family. And I was almost like, this is like the wacky B-side Tree of Life almost.
It's the good version of Tree of Life.
I love Tree of Life.
I hate Tree of Life. Why put dinosaurs in a movie if they're not going to attack anything?
Oh, it's a fair question. So here's the thing. I initially thought, because I think that they do kind of like ranked ballots, I'm pretty sure, for Best Picture. And initially, if you asked me even a few weeks ago, I'd say I don't know 100% about Everything Everywhere, because like we were talking about before, it's kind of a certain flavor, and for a lot of people it's a very appetizing flavor. It's like, oh, this is so fresh and exciting and original. And then for some, I'm not 100% convinced that, like, every Academy voter is like about kind of like the butt plug hot dog finger sense of humor, right? It's very like kind of juvenile and wacky, and like, I think it's actually had a much wider appeal than maybe people expected. Like, this was not a film made to win Academy Awards, and it was not a film when it was released that people probably thought this is going to become a Best Picture frontrunner. But I think that it's had, the key thing for me is in making my choice here is momentum. And I think that this movie has gained considerable momentum since it's been released, and since people have watched it, since it's been winning all of these Guild Awards. I actually feel more confident about this than most of the other nominees. I'm quite confident Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win Best Picture. And I think it's going to win Director too. And I think you're right, Matt, that they often split it. Like last year, they gave it to Coda for Best Picture, but then they said, well, we'll give Jane Campion the Best Director. Like, they do that a lot.
They do that with La La Land and Moonlight.
La La Land and Moonlight
that
as
was
well.
funny.
It's a kind of a frequent thing where it's like, well, we'll give Best Picture, this, but then we'll honor, a different director. Here, I just think that there's something very like appealing about this movie to a lot of people. I initially thought that it might kind of end up like maybe second or third on a lot of people's ballots, and maybe like end up splitting and then Banshee's taking it. Because Banshees is another very well-liked movie. Even Top Gun Maverick is a very well-liked blockbuster movie. Like, as far as blockbuster movies go, like, that movie is kind of airtight. It does exactly what it says on the tin, and it's like very clear and exciting and entertaining. And I think that would be a viable win. Personally, like, my favorite movie was Elvis, which I would never have expected in a million years. Tar would be a fascinating win, but I don't think it's happening. So yeah, I really think that Everything Everywhere is kind of an unstoppable train, and I think that it's pretty likely going to take the Best Picture Oscar this year. But we'll have to see.
We will.
Yeah.
All right.
It's an interesting take that you said that Top Gun Maverick would be a viable Best Picture win.
Well, I would have never expected it before it came out, but look how many months Top Gun Maverick was in theaters, and how many times people went to see it again and again. I mean, that movie played in Toronto at least for like 7 or 8 months, which is how movies used to be. Like in like the 80s and the 90s, like movies would run like 15 weeks, and that was, I could see people in the industry, the Academy voters, saying, well, this was a film that kind of saved our industry. They really initially tried to push that movie onto streaming, and Tom Cruise was like, absolutely not. I don't care if I have to wait 2 years. He waited 2 years to put it out. That movie's been in the can for like 4 years or so. So, he really made this huge bet. And I think that there are people that really admire the bet and how that paid off, and what that movie kind of represents now. And I think it's also super, super fun and like super entertaining, but it's not the kind of thing that initially I'd be like, oh yeah, Top Gun Maverick, like Best Picture. But then seeing it, I'm like, wow, that's a movie that I think is like way better than the original movie. Just like Vince said. So,
better than the original.
Yeah. So
I don't agree, actually. I disagree. But I like the original.
Too.
Godfather
2.
It's the Godfather 2 of Top Guns.
Yeah.
It's the Return of Jafar. Yeah.
No, I disagree.
No, I was joking. Return of Jafar is a terrible movie.
Oh, burn, Alex. What are you talking
I might have a bias towards those kinds of films, but yeah, like it's really what it probably is just the fact that I grew up with it. So like my nostalgia pull, just like like Jennifer Connelly, like replacing our like previous
just for Kelly McGillis for sure. Yes.
Yeah, and like even just like what the first, like so much of what I loved in Maverick, like I love Maverick. But like so much what I loved in it was just the stuff that was like either directly referencing or like echoing what the original did. And there were a lot of things that Maverick did that were new, like whether it's actors, music, etc., that I didn't love. So
Yeah.
it was,
Okay.
but again, I don't think I'm necessarily objectively correct, but
I need to see this in like the next 2.5 days. So
Matt, you should. I
also
think
form
you
an
like
opinion.
him. For, like,
I don't know.
Matt,
We'll see.
I thought I would not care about it, and it's so like everybody, like Ed Harris and John Hamm, they're all like, Maverick, you're too old, you can't do it. And he's like, I'm gonna show. Like, he literally throws a rule book in the trash. And he's like, they're like, well,
Really?
darn it, Maverick,
Well,
we're going back to Top Gun.
I
And it's
subscribe.
so
I
awesome.
subscribe to Paramount Plus just to watch it
Matt,
specifically.
do it.
So
Do
like
it
the
the
money
free
has been
trial.
spent. So yeah.
Matt, do the free trial. It's the whole thing is like, here's a mission. You got to go up over a mountain, down a thing, drop a thing, and do a thing, and then get out of the mountain. And it's so clear, and you follow
Yeah,
everything.
they, like-
It's like, oh,
there's
mwah.
no
They made me
confusion.
care about it. It made me care about it, and I don't care about missions or war. I don't care. I don't want to watch a war movie. I don't want to watch All Quiet on the Western Front. But
The tank crushes the guy.
somehow Tom Cruise made me want to have him and his crew succeed in this mission.
Okay.
I'm with you, Lisa, all the way.
Yes, all the
I'm
way.
excited to see it. I'm excited to see it. We'll see. So the last thing, very quickly, that I want to add to our Oscar ballot, which was inspired by Will Smith's antics last year, I would like to know, what is your pick for the biggest shocker / surprise moment of this award show? Like, we had the year where they announced the wrong movie for Best Picture. We had Will Smith slapping Chris Rock last year. What do you think? What is the wildest?
What was
thing?
Travolta's?
Oh yeah, Adele Dazeem.
Travolta, yeah,
Adele
Adele
Dazeem.
So yeah, so right now I would like to know, very as specifically as you can get, what do you think the craziest thing will happen?
Do
at
we
this
know any
Oscars
details?
movie?
Like who's hosting it? Who's
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, Jimmy
Kimmel?
Not the Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I make a guess?
Yeah. Ben,
All right,
let's
here's
get-
my
let's get
official
you
guess.
Okay.
Kimmel's gonna make a crack, kind of like this happened at the Golden Globes, but I don't know if Cruise was at the Golden Globes. But Jimmy Kimmel's gonna make a Scientology crack, like a joke, and they're gonna cut to Cruise, and you're gonna hear like total discomfort, and like it's almost like the microphones are gonna be really loud and like uncomfortably loud, and like you'll kind of hear the discomfort in the room while they're on Cruise, and he's just kind of like taking this like joke, and it's gonna be a Scientology Cruise.
Scientology and Cruise. Okay,
Yeah,
that's Ben's.
That's my
we like
guess.
that. We like- guess. We
so
like
wait, hold on.
We
Is
like
this like an awkward moment that like is gonna happen? Is
like
that
a
what you want?
spontaneous kind of like, yeah, Matt, how do you put it?
It's Oscars
Like,
the
like
way
if it's
that
spontaneous, I have an idea, but it's
Like the
not like
shocker,
an
yeah.
awkward moment. It's not gonna
or
be
like a shocker, the most memorable moment. Let's say that. Like when in 5 years from now, when people think the 2023 Oscars, what's going to be the slap moment? What's going to be the Adele Dazeem moment? What's going to be that thing that people remember before they remember who won like Best Actor?
I think this is okay. I just want this to happen. I want Kate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh to have some kind of queer moment. Like, I want them to either kiss, I want them to like propose to one another, I want them to like just have like a very public display of queer affection, even though they are very straight women.
Oh, that's so, my thing
Yeah.
was going to be some kind of unexpected kiss or couple reveal. My couple
Ooh,
reveal.
yeah.
I was going to guess Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga just show up together.
Oh.
Oh, but
Actually,
Matt,
maybe-
Lady
maybe
Gaga's
that'll
not
be
going
it.
to be there because she's filming Joker 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
is she not?
She's not going to be.
Yeah, she's not going to be there.
No,
She
but
can't-
she's in LA. They're filming it in LA. Why wouldn't
Yeah, but they said she can't be
They
at there.
said,
She's
yeah,
not
they
performing.
said that she's not performing.
So she's not performing. So maybe she's there but not performing. That could be it. She might show up because she is nominated, but she's not performing. So never mind what I said. She might be at the ceremony.
Maybe
I'm
you'll
not-
get-
Maybe I'll stick to that. Yeah, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga are just going to announce that they're together.
They're going to announce it.
Yeah, or either that or Jenny the Donkey shows up.
Oh, that would rule.
You just show up.
Actually, no, that's what my vote's going to be because I'm only letting myself do one thing. Jenny the Donkey shows up on the red carpet,
Can you
or no, as a presenter. Jenny the Donkey cameo.
presenter?
Jenny the Donkey cameo. There we are. Lauren, what are you thinking?
I want Michelle Yeoh to punch Kate Blanchett.
Oh my God, Lauren!
Just kidding.
I like Anna.
But after hearing Lisa's, I feel like That could potentially happen. I mean, Michelle Yeoh's been making out with Jamie Lee Curtis
I
at
know.
every award ceremony. So why not?
And like
Uh,
Kate Blanchett has such a big lesbian following on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's outrageous how amazing it is. And
yeah.
I feel like she might just like come out and announce her bisexuality. She's divorcing her husband and she's gonna live
For
a
Michelle,
queer
yeah.
woman's life. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Although I do
that
like,
would be a
I
true
like Anna's
shocker
though. Video
for somebody as big as Kate Blanchett to come out
Yeah.
as
Oh, wait,
bi.
so sorry, Lauren. What was your prediction?
So I'm going to go with the make out with
Okay.
Michelle Yeoh and Kate.
Everyone
Blanchett.
wants everybody to kiss.
Yeah. I want people to kiss.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it Madonna and someone else made out once, or like there was a very
At the
surprising
MTV
kiss at?
Music
Was it-
Video
yeah.
Awards with Britney and Christina Aguilera.
Oh, was it Britney and Christina? I thought it was Madonna for some reason.
Oh yeah, Madonna
Oh,
made
Madonna.
out, kissed Britney and then kissed Christina.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I think Britney and Christina kissed each other.
Okay. Yeah,
That
I knew there was a kiss
we
somewhere.
need that type of vibe at the Oscars.
Yeah, we need the kiss shocker. We need
Yes.
the kiss. Alex, what's your prediction?
I predict that that during one of the like big award announcements, like leading or supporting or whatever, but leading probably like leading actor, actress. Like there's gonna be like somebody's gonna get up, but they're not gonna be called. You know, they like Kate Blanchett's gonna stand up. Like there's gonna be a shot of just like she's gonna like jerk or something. Wait, as Michelle Yeoh's announced or whatever.
Oh, what if they announced the wrong Michelle?
Michelle
Yeah, or
Williams.
they'll
Oh
say
my
Michelle,
God.
and both of them will get up.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that would be so
Yeah.
funny.
And then my runner-up prediction is nip slip.
Nip slip? Okay.
That's a very
From
again,
Jenny the Donkey.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna roll her back.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Beside my runner-up, aside from Jenny the Donkey's surprise appearance, is going to be a surprise tie in a major category.
A
That's what I'm gonna say.
tie. Do
Wait,
they-
Oh.
did ties happen?
Has that ever happened? I don't know if
They
that's
have
ever
happened in the past.
Really?
Really?
What
Yeah.
happened when the tie happened? Did they get both
Acting awards have been tied in the past.
Really?
No, but what was the result? Did they get?
Wow.
Did both people get?
Yeah,
the
they
award?
both won. Hold on.
Oh.
That's like
Oscar.
J-Lo doing the Super Bowl with Shakira. That's such bullshit.
So there have been 6 ties in the Oscars history.
Wow.
Best actor in 1932, that doesn't count, too long ago. Best documentary short in 1950 doesn't count. Best actress in 1969. It was a tie between Barbara Streisand and Katharine Hepburn.
Are you
Wow.
serious?
Yeah, for
Wow. Katharine Hepburn must have been furious.
oh, I'm sure she was fine with it. Actually, I don't know much about Katharine Hepburn, so maybe she wasn't. Best documentary in 87, we don't care about that. Best short film in 95, we don't care about that. Sound editing in 2013. Oh, that was
Really? That was
Yeah.
recent.
Yeah, it
What
was
tied?
for Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30.
What did tie? Oh, Zero Dark 30 and Skyfall.
Whoa. I
So
had no
yeah.
idea that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So ties happen. So I'm guessing a tie. I'm gonna say a tie.
It's long overdue.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I mean, I would love a tie.
Yeah, just imagine Brendan and Austin both win.
That would be, yeah. That
Come
would be great.
Boston Fraser.
Boston.
Austin Fraser.
I'm here for it.
Are there
Gotta pick
reports
up my
of Austin? Yeah, that's what I was to say. Are there reports of Austin like keeping an accent or whatever? Is that something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done
He-
SNL, and it's like that's his voice now.
Yeah,
So
just
what-
anytime he's spoken publicly since doing Elvis, he still sounds like Elvis.
So if he wins, do we think he's going to sound like Elvis? If
Yes.
he gives it an acceptance speech or
it's
whatever?
not even a question. He will. He'll
I
sound
fooled all of you guys.
Even
I
like I
like
couldn't watch
Vincent's,
his episode of Hot Ones because he sounded too much like Elvis and it annoyed me.
Oh my God, that's so
Like,
funny.
I'm just some
wing.
here to eat the wing.
I like
Hold on.
Vince's controversial moment.
Oh, I do like Vince's. Austin is drinking ice cream and still some of it.
Brendan like laughed Boston. Yeah.
That is funny.
Kate and Nina Haas show up as a couple. Who's Nina Haas?
I don't know who Nina Haas.
Nina Haas
Who's Kate
plays her like girlfriend /
Oh.
wife in Tar. Yeah, she's an incredible
Wow.
Oh
actress.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're hot.
Yeah.
They're hot together.
Nina Haas is great.
Imagine Kate just. Oh no, this is my thing. Kate reveals that she is Lydia Tarr, and Kate Blanchett has been the performance all these years.
I love that.
Yes.
Iconic. Yeah, I like
Okay, I'm gonna write that down too.
Okay.
Kate is Lydia.
She also needs like a pseudonym for like all her work as a composer all these years or whatever.
Lydia Tarr is the composer of great songs.
Yeah, what's the whale's name?
She's the whale.
What's the Tolkien's name?
It's Lydia Tarr.
God.
I feel like there's gonna be a joke about that. Like Jimmy's gonna make a joke. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
About her
the-
Avatar character?
Yeah.
the-
Avatar. Yeah.
No, certainly not our joke. Jimmy Kimmel hasn't caught on to
No.
the architect of great.
I don't
music.
think anyone else has realized
No,
the
this is OG.
the meme ability of composer of great
Yeah.
songs. I Google it regularly to see if anyone's caught on, and no one has.
Wow.
No one cares about composer of great songs. It's really sad. So anyway, there we go.
We
We'll
did
see
it.
who wins. We
We
did it. We got our
did it.
predictions
All
Hooray.
right. How do we find out? Are you gonna?
on Oscar, and I'm just gonna keep a tally for myself, and then
Yeah.
I'll announce it somewhere on the channel. Be like, this person won.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my tally because I wrote everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it all written down. I considered typing it so that I could share it with people, but I didn't. So there we go.
I use vanityfair.com. You can click the little buttons and then it lists them all for you. And I love it.
There used to be this amazing thing through the Oscar website. Maybe they still have it, where you could like put in all your picks and then connect it with your friends, and then
Oh,
have
that's
a run
cool.
like yeah, and then just keep track of it all. Like the computer program kept track of it all for you all night to be like, this is who's winning.
Was
I
that on
didn't-
the official Oscar
It was
website?
the official Oscar website. I did it one year, and I found it like an hour before the Oscars. I posted on Facebook and said, "Hey, does anyone want to join me?" And then one person did. Mike Cannon from our
Oh,
film
yeah.
cast, Ben,
No way.
who's no longer my Facebook friend. He got rid of me.
What the heck?
I know, Mike. What's the
Mike?
deal? Come
Mike,
on, Mike.
I'm going to
Oh
see
my
if Mike
God.
Cannon's still my friend on Facebook.
Yes, please do. And if he's, and I encourage everyone to find Mike Cannon and add him, and just say Matt says hi. See if he remembers. So there
All
we
right.
go. All right, so that's it. There's no game because I knew this was going to be long, and the game was seeing what you predicted. So I'm entertained.
Yeah.
There we go. Hooray!
Yay, we
Okay,
did it.
well, happy Oscars,
Yay.
everyone. Anyone closing thoughts? Anything that you want to say we haven't said over the past 3.5 hours?
Good year for film.
Good year.
Yeah.
for film.
Yeah. I
Boom.
Yeah,
totally
no,
agree.
I'm excited by years like this where nothing is totally set in stone. I just find it
Mhm.
really exciting, especially just seeing all the award shows leading up to this, seeing how varied and different they were, or even just like not having a movie that clearly will win all the things, like Return of the King that year, which I'm still angry about. No Lord of the Rings movie deserves that many Oscars, but here we are. It's a conversation for another day, Alex. So there it is. Yeah, time to sign off. Tell all the nice people who you are, what you're doing, anything you want them to know. Start with Lauren.
All right. Well, I'm with Castles, Capes, and I always do this wrong. Castles, Capes, and Clones on YouTube. We're also on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. So definitely check us out. We talk all things Disney and everything, like from Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. We could talk about the Muppets, 20th Century, whatever. So yeah, just definitely check us out.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. You can follow me at Instagram. Wow. You can follow me on Instagram at Lisa_A_Alves to see what I'm up to in Toronto, Canada. Do a lot of theater stuff with Cahoots Theater, and you probably will probably see my hamsters on my Instagram. If you like crochet goods and knitting things, you can follow my other Instagram account at Lisa Alves Creations, where I post some cool things. And yeah, hopefully you'll see me back here on Teacup for One.
Woo! Thanks, Lisa. Do you ever call them their Instagram accounts, their Insta hams.
Yeah, they're my Insta hams.
That's adorable. I'm so happy. Thank you, Lisa. Ben.
Hey, I'm Ben. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at It's Ben Gordon, Gordon, just like it says right over there. Message me about Lydia Tarr. We'll talk Tar. I love talking about Tar. And you should one day you should ask either me or Matt about The Myth of Persephone, the movie that Matt Yipchuk made that I acted in briefly. I'm in it. Yeah, that we made many years ago when we went to film school together. Matt made some awesome stuff in film school. I'm glad we're still good friends, Matt. You're the best. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, Ben, you're the best. You also made great things in film school.
I tried.
Yes. And one day, Ben, we're going to make Good Will Hunting too. Because
that's right. Ben, it's happening.
Matt's and Ben's getting
Ben.
done. There we go. Brilliant. All right, next.
I'm Alex T-Tie. You can find me here, Teacup for one. This was surprisingly fun. I expected that I was going to be like a deer in headlights and not know what was going on the whole time, and I caught on quick, and it was a good time. So glad to be here, and hopefully more in the future.
And if you're watching this channel, this is my channel, of course. Thank you for joining us, everyone, for the Teacup for One Oscar movie marathon. It has been a whirlwind, but a fun whirlwind of 8-ish, almost weeks, 6 weeks. I don't know. It's been a lot of movies, a lot of good movies. So I'm excited to see how the Oscars pan out and excited for even more Teacup movie marathons. I've been so focused on watching these movies, I haven't planned whatever's coming next. I think maybe it'll be Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. We'll see. But until then, watch the channel. Thank you. Happy Oscar night. My name is Matt and I have 2 degrees, and this has been the Teacup for One. Rakakuni for life. How do I end this?